What up? What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mo.J. This is the Mo you know. It's the Daily Diddy, or is it Diddy Day 33? Jeesh. Yeah, man, it's Diddy Day 33. Deliberation is going to start today. Hopefully, they get all of this done by Tuesday. We had the closing arguments on Friday. They went back and forth. Some people thought the defense did a good job. Some people thought the defense may have dropped the ball. I'm looking at it like, I don't know, man. We got to see how they're going to read out these laws, because I know people, oh, Mo, we told you. We told you, Mo. Shout out to my dog Trill talking about guilty. You're going to be guilty, these motherfuckers with my oil change. This is going to be guilty. Yeah, that's going to be guilty. Damn Diddy, man. They got him up here, man. What's up, Tracy? Man, y'all don't understand how hot it is, man. I came home. My oil light came on the car. I'm hitting Triller like, dog, they done bullshitted me. I'm outside. I'm sweating and shit. I was like, man. Came indoors. It was too hot. I had to open up all the windows. It's terrible. And it's supposed to be 100 on Wednesday. So that means it's going to be about 115 in the crib. Damn, tomorrow will be 97. Oh, we got us a heat wave for sure. What up, Moochie? What's up, Jalen? Yes, we started a little late today, but guess what, man? We ain't really got no court. Today, they're just going to be going over what the laws are and how they want the jurors to understand that. So we will go through it. We might dip off and go watch I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I watched 2 episodes of Squid Games. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not really into it this season. I'm looking at it like, man, all right, man, these first 2 episodes slow as hell. So I don't know. I ain't even watched BMF yet. I was gonna say, well, since we're going into Deliberation, I might just watch BMF with y'all. Get off of here. And if we do get something, an update, guilty, that nigga's guilty. It's either gonna be guilty, that nigga's guilty, or let me show y'all something else. Let me find it for y'all. Some wild shit. Oh man, I can't even find it. Hold on, let me see. Y'all know what movie I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of you remember at the end of A Time to Kill? They had goddamn Samuel in there. He had this scruffy hair and shit because he been locked up for killing them dudes. Like if Diddy wins, that's how monumental this is gonna be. Remember when the little girl came, or no, the little boy came outside? Not guilty, he's innocent. That's how it's gonna be. If Diddy beats this case, it's gonna be some little kid running outside. Not guilty, he's innocent, he's innocent. And then everybody gonna be over here. I told you, nigga, you wasted your time on the trial. Nigga, fuck you. I don't care. He's innocent, he's innocent. What up, Nicole, Mozzie? What's up, Kurt? Kendall, what's going on? Alma, I see you. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm talking about on the end of A Time to Kill? The little boy runs out. He's sweaty as hell. He kind of look like me right now. He's innocent. He's not guilty. He didn't do it. Then let me find that. We need the representation so we can understand the judge details 8 alleged racketeering acts. Damn. Remember, he got 8. The judge read off 8 acts that he's up under. They only got to get him for 2. 2 out of 8 is going to. That's like a test score for me. So I could probably hit 2 out of 8 easily. And they say Diddy's smarter than me. So Diddy probably going to hit about 5, 6 out of 8. Diddy's like a 70%er. So yeah, you can be about, if it's 8 acts, yeah, Diddy going to be around 6, 5, 6-ish. But they only need 2. So what up, Power is Fire? They only need 2. So I don't know, man. I think they're going to hit him with. We're behind, but a lot of this isn't anything important. So we're good. We'll catch us up though. Oh man, we don't need how media coverage of major trials has evolved in the post OJ era. Yeah, we just did 33 days straight. It has evolved. 'Cause I would not be doing this if this is anybody else. If this was like no disrespect, if this like well, I'll just say mystical since he already got jammed up for some shit like this. Yeah, if this is the mystical trial, I wouldn't be giving a damn. I would not be wasting my time talking about no damn mystical going to jail. Damn, what mystical in jail for, man? Some weird shit. Yeah, they got at least two. All right, we don't need the history of OJ. If you need that, they got a nice documentary on Netflix. Came out about 2018, 19. Pretty damn good. You could watch that, or I could give you a summary of it, but not right now. All right, catch up on the charges and the evidence presented in the jury trial against Sean Diddy Combs. Man, this is the last week, man. It's like we got to know Diddy a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe with the weird, nasty side, but we got to know Diddy a little bit more. This is the most open that Diddy has been to the fans. So sometimes it takes court for you to evolve and to open up to others. You know what I mean? Sometimes people blossom a little bit later on in life. And right now, this is Diddy's blossoming moment. You know what I mean? I'm coming now. I want the world. You know what I'm saying? This is his moment. This is his moment. We're seeing a different side. Love, love, love. We seeing a different. This ain't the Diddy we used to. We didn't know that there was a Diddy with a heart that was so passionate about Cassie. We didn't know that. All we had was the surface level. He was willing to take it far enough to blow up a nigga car. We didn't know that Diddy had that big of a heart, did we? Think about it. 32 days. Y'all ain't did nothing with y'all family members. I ain't did nothing with my family members. We just been talking Diddy. We found out that Diddy got a big heart and he loves so much. He's willing to share whatever it is he got. And we found that out in this trial. We would have never known that about Diddy. So that's one thing, you know. They say big for the culture. Who's bigger than Diddy? Nobody. Nobody. Well, Hova. But right now they ain't talking about Hova. They talking about Queen B and how she's sitting sideways in that Cadillac. I was already thinking about that with the Chris Brown concerts and that nigga swinging around the damn stadiums over here. I'm like, man, do your shit, dog. But y'all niggas need to be safe. I ain't gonna lie to you. You just on the stage, just doing what you doing, some dance moves. Hey, that's enough show for me, nigga. I don't need you risking your life because I'm gonna have to talk about it. You know what I mean? And it's not nothing you want to talk about. So, like, man, I mean, y'all doing y'all thing, but Beyonce, you too big of a star to be doing some bullshit like that. Now, if the Beehive, y'all want to come in here, just spam my shit with like a lot of bees and stuff. You know, take this to another motherfucking level. You know, you can't troll me, so and you can't cancel me because I don't think any of my subscribers or my moets really give a shit if we talk about Beyonce or not. But yeah, man, you too big of a star to be risking your life for that, man. Fuck that. Do your show on the ground. Have your daughter do some flips, and y'all get it. Y'all get it, man. Stay safe. Keep making that money. More money than my whole lineage is ever gonna see. So y'all do your thing, but man, don't risk it for that, man. No disrespect to the fans, but all disrespect, man. Fuck them fans, man. Hey, you don't want to be a tragedy. It only takes once. All right. Catch up on the charges and evidence presented in the trial against Diddy. What up, DeMarcus? Kirk said 6 out of 8. What up, Torian? My bad, y'all. I had to go, you know, I'm behind a little bit, so I got to pick up. Pick up. All right, so let me see. It's been more than 6 weeks in the testimony of Diddy, well, against Diddy in the federal criminal trial. As the case heads to the jury today, Laura Coates recaps the 5 counts the music mogul faced. Let's listen to her real quick because people don't ever want to listen to me. So,
Diddy stands accused, charged with 5 felony counts: RICO, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. If convicted, he could spend the rest of his life in prison.
she looked like a mix of Nia Long and Eve. She looked like Nia Long and Eve. How I replay this mug? What up, Pink? Don't she look like a mix of
Diddy
Eve and
stands
Nia
accused,
Long?
charged with 5 felony counts: RICO, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. If convicted, he could spend the rest of his life in prison. RICO is the most serious of these charges, but also the most complex. Prosecutors had to prove that a group of people, known as an enterprise, worked together to commit a pattern of crimes within a 10-year period. While there are many different types of alleged crimes that can qualify as racketeering activity, the prosecution primarily focused on 2: bribery and arson. First, bribery. Although Diddy was not charged with assaulting Cassie Ventura, as seen in the now infamous hotel surveillance footage, prosecutors say that he did bribe a hotel security guard with $100,000 to make sure the video never saw the light of day. Second, arson. Prosecutors allege that Diddy played a role in the attempt to blow up the rapper Kid Cudi's Porsche with a Molotov cocktail when he learned that he was dating Cassie Ventura, and forced an employee to drive with him to the house while he was armed. Sex trafficking can also qualify as racketeering activity, but it was charged separately.
Oh man, I ain't know this is my bad, y'all. Hey, I thought this is like a, one of the short videos. I thought it was gonna be like a minute. She just kept talking. I was like, all right, when's it gonna reloop? Yeah, it's like 3 minutes. I'll cover all of that. We don't need that professionalism right now. We need to understand what's going on. You just telling us the basics. I gotta break that down for y'all. Now we don't know nothing right now. We're just going over everything. We got to go see what the judge is talking about, though. Once we figure that out, then we'll pretty much go through the list of what we think. Y'all gotta. I'll bring it up later. Hey, DeMarcus, thank you for that $5. Remember in that GDAP music video, Let's Get It, P. Diddy said not guilty. And that could be foreshadowing to the case. Shit. Well, when he made that song, not guilty, come on. Make this money. Take this money. Ain't no way you can, what is it? Take this money. All right. The judge is on the bench. Court proceedings are about to go underway. The jury's now entering. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't wear that that judge shit is too hot, man. I'm telling you, man, it's so damn hot right now. Y'all just don't understand. We only get this for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And then after that, it's back to rainy season. So it's like, shit, it's cool that we get it, but damn, boy, I tell you, it's whooping feet. Excuse me. The judge to begin jury instruction in Combs' trial. The judge will now instruct the jury on the laws that apply to the charges in this case. The pre-scripted instructions are expected to take more than an hour for the judge to read the panel. All right, so this gives us the 8 racketeering acts. So they've been going over it. So they're just jumping because this is only 29 minutes out. So I'm assuming they have already started deliberation. That's why I started a little bit later also, because all this is an instruction. Once they go in the back room, there's nothing that any legal experts that can tell us anything. No one on the news can tell us anything. Once it goes to the jury and the jurors, once it goes to them, it ain't in nobody's hands. Those 12 motherfuckers in there, it's on them. We could all think he's guilty of everything. They be like, you know what? Fuck that, man. We fuck with Diddy. That nigga innocent. And everybody come out Harlem shaking and she be like, oh shit, he beat the case. He beat the case. So that's a good thing about court. It's like when you go in there, it's really a 50-50 chance because you could have, hell, we might not even get you know what I'm saying? We might not even get a verdict. That might be a hung jury. Hey, you might get a mistrial in this motherfucker. Diddy back in this motherfucker in 27 and we doing it again. Because if it goes over Christmas break, trust me, I ain't covered it. Yeah, we might be back in 27. It might be, we got a mistrial, Your Honor. We don't know how we can get through this. There just wasn't enough evidence presented. And then next time they come in, now we got to start bringing in all these extra celebrities, should I say. The feds ain't going to play around that second time around. So it's best the jurors, y'all get it right. But shit, I know the jurors, once they ready to get out of here, hey, holla at me. Just tell me how you want your book written, and I'm gonna put it out there for them. All right, the judge details the 8 alleged racketeering acts in the Diddy case. Shit, I am hot, man. You don't understand, man. The German shit, I'm sweating like hell. All right, the judge is currently defining the 8 underlying, the 8 underlying jury The 8 underlying acts that the jury could potentially find were committed by Diddy or a co-conspirator. So there are co-conspirators. Everyone keeps saying, "How's it a RICO one person?" Well, the co-conspirators' names were listed. It's just they got immunity, so they're no longer defendants, but they're still co-conspirators. To convict Diddy on the racketeering conspiracy, the jury must find that he agreed with at least one other member of his alleged enterprise to commit 2 qualifying crimes within 10 years of each. Hell, because the end of Cassie was what, 2008, 2018? The end of Cassie was 2018. And then old girl came around like 2021. So that's only a 3-year off. You know what I mean? That's a 7-year swing right there. Shit. Cause shit, Diddy was with her up until he got arrested. That's 10 years. So what, 7-year swing? Let's say 2023. So 2016, that takes it back to when damn Diddy was in what's the name? In the hotel. Golly. That 10 years fuck you over right there, man. That overlapping. Like I said, you only get 7. I mean, yeah, you get 7 years straight because of the 3-year difference. Sheesh. So that goes back from 24 to 2016. Well, 23. 24 is when that incident happened, but jam. That'll put that 2017 in. All right. Oh, what's going on, Miss Angela? Thank you for the membership. What up, Florida? What up? Oh, let me find that for y'all so y'all understand what I'm saying. Well, I'm gonna read these. The indictment charges comes with conspiracy when co-conspirators to kidnap, arson, some other riffraff that we would never do. Kidnapping, arson, bribery, forced labor, transportation to engage in prostitution, trafficking, witness tampering, and possession with the intent to distribute controlled substances. So everyone's saying, "Oh, it was a little bitty pack." Yeah, it was just intent. They didn't say he was actually. It was possession. Remember, it don't matter if you want drugs or not. If I got the drugs, I got possession charge. If I hand you some, I got possession and distribution. But if I got enough for more than one person, it isn't personal use anymore. It's intent. There's no reason you got all that dope just for yourself. There's an intent to sell it. They're not saying you doing it, but there's an intention to sell it. You know what I mean? I'm intending to go to the grocery store. Don't mean I'm gonna do it. It mean I might do that shit. But in the courtroom, we can't say might. You know what I mean? We can't say probably. You know what I'm saying? We can't say ain't. You know what I'm saying? So we can't say that. We gotta say intend. I intended to go do this. I intended to go do that. I would have been up there and said, I intended to use all of these drugs by myself. See, that's the intent. It don't mean you did that shit. It mean you intended to do that, motherfucker. I mean, if I get to it, I get to it. I'm not opposed to it. You know what I mean? That's not me, guys. That's the courtroom. Again, I'm not here to say if Diddy's innocent or guilty. If you have a problem with what I'm reading, please contact the Southern District of New York, the federal building. They are in there at least from 8 in the morning, the clerks, all the way till 5 p.m. We know that because we've done it for 32 days. So contact them. Get in contact with the AUSA. Ask them, why did they write this up for the judge? Or you can contact the judge or get Diddy's inmate number. Write him and his legal team because these are public defenders. Not the ones you get from the courthouse, but they defend the public if the price is right. Contact them motherfuckers and ask them why they agree on this. But that's an intent to distribute controlled substances. The government alleges that Diddy conspired with his enterprise to commit this pattern of racketeering activity from at least 2004 to 2024. That's 20 years, but remember, it has to be within a 10-year span. Racketeering conspiracy is charged as count 1 in the indictment. The judge will still instruct the jury on counts 2 through 5. Each juror on the main panel will keep a copy of the complex and lengthy instructions during the deliberations. All right, they're saying if Diddy beats the case, man. Hey, if Diddy beat the case, if he beat the case, I'm hearing that they having a welcome home party at the Madison Square Garden. If you in New York, you know what they say. If you know, you know. They say if Diddy beat this Madison Square, be there, be square. No baby oil, but we shit. Matter of fact, they pulling up. He beat the case. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of baby oil. Don't nobody want to walk around ashy. They say Diddy beat this. He got a welcome home party at Madison Square Garden. I mean, I don't know how y'all give it up there in New York. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seem like y'all party. They say it's the city that don't sleep, right? So y'all be partying like every day of the week. Oh man, what the they say when Diddy get out, this is how it's gonna be when Diddy get out. If Diddy beat this case, if Diddy beat this case, this is a live look of Diddy beating the case. If Diddy beat that case, the 6-pack of white women like, what the fuck? They said if Diddy beat this case, boy, it's going crazy in New York. They gonna be going crazy in New York. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. He can't be stopped now because this bad boy for life. If Diddy beat that case, y'all. If Diddy beat that case, man, look at the guns these niggas. They were about to lay. Look at this. They were about to lay some innocent motherfuckers down, nigga. They were just, hey, they were just out here rightfully protesting. They got the National Guard out here with the big boy. These niggas is close as hell to be using this kind of weaponry. Look at this shit, man. They about to eat everything. Bop, 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 bop. What's up going on, Blind Beauty? Look, he looking at his thing because he on the clock right now. He's like, man, shit, I gotta. Y'all ever peep that? He looking at the watch. He like, I gotta build a community a little bit more than this. I'm going over overtime now. It's gonna be another 150 for my time. Listen to that music. If Diddy beat that case. All right, let me get focused, man. Let me get focused. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what Diddy gonna be. I mean, I think it's gonna be tough for that Rico. So the judge instructs the jurors. Hold on, we are okay. That's the 8 details. The judge instructs the jury on trafficking counts against Diddy. Yeah, a lot of stuff is a waste of tax dollars, but you're not, like I say, man, these cases, if we're being honest, these cases, you're not going to see a difference in this. You know what I mean? You're not going to see a difference in this. People always talk about, oh man, this is a waste of tax dollars. Did you not look at the big, beautiful bill that they're trying to pass? That's going to fuck up the tax dollars. People be worried about these cases that are like 0.00000000001 of your federal income tax. They don't look at your federal income taxes and say, you know what, Mo, all your federal, we're taking that whole chunk that you paid last year. We're putting that shit on the Diddy case. You don't know where your taxes are going, man. This shit's already funded out, man. There's a pot for this that's already budgeted. That's why everyone makes budgets. They already got budgets for that. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to see any of this. They voted on this years ago. I think the budget for the federal court system is like every 6 years they do that budget. Like, all that's a pot. You know what I mean? It's just like the VA. All my disability money is in the pot. That's already budgeted. They can't touch that money because that shit's already been written in law. This shit's already been taken care of. If y'all don't want y'all tax dollars wasted, don't pay your taxes. Now, remember, I'm not a financial advisor, so don't take that however you want to. If you don't want your taxes spent on shit, don't pay your taxes. Shit. If you don't like who the president is, don't pay your federal taxes. Do something about it. Do something about it. What I'm gonna do? It is a waste of tax dollars. But what I'm gonna hello? God damn it, me and the Moets, we got a problem with this trial. We don't care if he's innocent or guilty. You're wasting our mother freaking tax dollars. Yeah, that's right. We want refunds. Where's that $5,000 we're supposed to get back from Doge when they couldn't find $2 trillion? Where's that money at? Oh, that's right. We wasted our fucking tax dollars because we fired everybody, and now it's too much work on the rest of us federal employees. It's a bunch of bullshit. But yeah, tax dollars are wasted every day, and get this case over with right, motherfucker, now. We're tired of spending for it. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of shit's fucked up, man. It is what it is, man. Shit. I don't complain. I just know I pay my taxes every year. You know what I mean? I don't care where the taxes go, because it is what it is, man. Sometimes, like Section 8. I got a couple of properties with Section 8, so I'm upset they trying to cut that. So I'm like, man, that ain't no waste of tax dollars. That's putting people into the homes, you know what I'm saying, and helping me pay my rent. So yeah, man, they trying to cut Section 8. I know down there in Florida they doing it. They trying to get this shit up in Missouri. I'm like, hey, yo, whoa, wait a minute. Now they say the people that already own it, they're gonna be good, and it's gonna be cut off. They're gonna be like a waiting list. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. That's going to a good cause. That's going to money in my pocket. I don't get the tax deduction for kids. People be getting. I know y'all niggas be getting like $8,000 back for taxes. Shit, I might get like $1,200, and that's if I'm taking out an extra $100 off the federal, because for some reason they forget how much they supposed to tax you throughout the year. So I take out an extra $100 for that and $50 for the state. But yeah, it is a waste of tax. I feel like giving people tax credits is a waste of my tax dollars. You know what I mean? But that shit been going on. I ain't got no kids. I shouldn't have to pay taxes that go to people that need, you know what I'm saying, that get money back for their kids. I ain't tell you to have 7. Shit. Matter of fact, I need a single nigga tax. Hell yeah. For all the women I take out to eat or take her to go see something, oh yeah, I need to be able to write that off on taxes. Single nigga taxes. It's hard out here for a pimp when you trying to spend the money on the rent. For the Cadillac and gas money spent, have a whole lot of bitches jumping ship. Do you see? If I got to pay for all of this and I don't get enough back on taxes, they're going to be jumping ship. That song wasn't talking about just out there pimping hoes. It's about pimping life. So I need a single nigga tax, at least $15,000 back. I need $15,000 back a year. That's what I need back. But yeah, man, I won't say I waste my tax dollars on other people's kids, but they ain't my kids. But then again, it helped out my family members. So I mean, that's why I don't look at tax like that. Like, it is what it is, brother. All right. I'm just trying to fill in, guys, because I'm looking at the updates. So if y'all like, man, hurry up and get into this. There's really only like 1 or 2 updates. So I'm just trying to fill in. So but yeah, man, waste my tax dollars. What I got to pay taxes for? I don't even live in the States. All right, the judge instructs the jury on ex-trafficking counts. The judge is now instructing the jury about the ex-trafficking counts. 2 counts on the indictment charge Diddy with ex-trafficking by force, threats, fraud, or coercion. Count 2. So I think all they got to do is get the trafficking by either force, threats of force, fraud, or coercion. I don't think it has to be all of these. It just got to be like one of them, don't it? Excuse me. Count 2 on the indictment charged with egg trafficking to Cassie from roughly 2009 to 18, and 4 charging with Jane from 21 to 24. Yeah, so I'm thinking they only got to prove, like, if they go back there, like, okay, he did it by force, or he did it by threats of force, or fraud, or coercion. So I think it only got to hit on one of these to be considerate. Like the RICO, we need 2 acts. This one just says any of these, we on your ass. What up, GJ? I live in Florida, and they should, because Section 8 more people here would rather the government take care of them instead of working. Hey, man. Now, Section 8 isn't a scam. People scam it. Section 8 was put in place, when the disparity happened. And, man, black people became free. And then once they started gentrifying and throwing them into the hoods and stuff, it was just NAACP was actually helping out with it. So it's not put in place for a scam, but people just look at it with just like, fuck it. It's easy money. All I got to do is put up 5% of the rent, 10%, depending on where you're at, if you want to run it up, because they only give you a voucher to how much it should be. But if you want to pay over, that's on you. It's not a scam. It's just people scam the system. Like, it's supposed to be for the people that need it, the elderly that can't work or maybe disabled or something. It ain't supposed to just be for everybody. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a scam system, because if you use it properly, like I had a lady in my house and they worked. They worked and they were on Section 8, but her husband was paralyzed. So it was just her. So that's why they had to live on Section 8, because they couldn't afford, like regular housing. They needed, what I'm saying? She was only making it. And it wasn't that they were just always that way. He ended up getting hurt. He was the breadwinner. So she started working, but that's why they were on Section 8. So it's not a scam system. It's just people are scamming it. If that makes sense. Now, I'm not saying that people ain't scamming it, because we know they are. So we got that. The judge instructs the jury on transportation for P2 charges. The judge is instructed on the 2 counts. Count 3 is an indictment of Diddy with Cassie, and then count 5 is with Jane. But it don't tell us the information.
Press here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Today, Monday, June 30th, 2025. It's day 33 of U.S. versus Sean Combs, including the possible verdict today. Deliberations will begin. Whether the verdict is today, we don't know. Jury instruction will be read by the judge. It wasn't put into the docket, which is kind of unfortunate. And then deliberations will begin, and at any time. Now, I'm assuming that there'll be some notes, and we'll be obviously live tweeting that. The notes that come out. Often then there's a negotiation of how to answer an oral question, legal question. And sometimes they'll ask for testimony, and then they got to go and redact it. Hopefully they've done a lot of the groundwork for this, because they're facing a deadline, and we'll get to in a moment, as with the quote unquote, and I'm putting it in quotation marks, big beautiful bill, there's a deadline. Now this deadline, whatever, July 4th is a holiday. So if the Diddy verdict jurors do not reach a verdict, they'll just have to be coming back on Monday. They could conceivably come in on Thursday, but I don't know. I don't know if we'll get that long. Let's transition. Actually, no, it's still yet more on the Diddy docket. We put up week 7, the book, closings to deliberations. It's actually the longest one so far, because there were a lot of words last week. 2 long closings, and we covered them, and we also have some analysis and some other additional material. You'll find the book, Diddy on Trial, week 7, on Google Play for reasons that are explained in the book. Also, that we covered, I think on Friday or Saturday, one of the many civil cases here against Diddy. There's also one out in LA that we'll have more to say on anon. But this one is by Sarah Rivers. They're getting some summons against various people, close allies and people that could have been in this case but weren't. So check that one out. I think that's on Patreon. We have some of the summonses. Okay, now let's turn to the big beautiful bill, because we were live tweeting that over the weekend, because there was a lot of Tom Tillis is the main protagonist in this one. He voted no on moving the bill forward. Switching, of course, was Ron Johnson of Wisconsin. That made all the difference. That for it going forward, whatever you think of it. J.D. Vance didn't have to vote, but J.D. Vance did negotiate with Mr. Murkowski.
Hey man, we don't care about all that right now. Let me see. Where we at? 36 minutes, 45, 2 hours. We'll start here at this 45. Oh, shit. Never mind. We got to back this thing all the way up so we can get a full understanding of the recal. All right, guys. Here we go. We're about to get into the nitty gritty of this. This is going to be I'm not going to get sidetracked this time. All right. I'm gonna try to make it through this without getting sidetracked. So don't try to throw me off in the comments, man. I know how y'all get. Y'all try to distract me with some nonsense, but we're gonna try to get through this professionally. We're gonna see if we're gonna hold Diddy accountable or not. If not, then hey, man, we ain't going nowhere. But if not, then it's over with for Diddy. For one last time. All right, the judge entered into the courtroom. He said, in this case, is anything we'll bring into the jury for the charge? They said, yeah, the laptop is ready, boss. There's a few things we'll finalize during the charge. Just email it to the chambers, not in the docket. All rise. The judge said, I'll read you the charge. It's long, but I'll try to make it interesting. All right, Judge, you think you me, huh? You have now heard all the evidence in the case, as well as the final arguments of the parties. I will instruct you on the law as I give it to you. The evidence in this testimony, the answers, and the exhibit arguments are not evidence. You are the sole and exclusive arbiters of the facts. What is a reasonable doubt? It's based on your common sense after carefully weighing all of the evidence. You just weigh each witness credibility, the truth and importance of their testimony, size him or her up. You must decide. Sean Combs has been formally charged in an indictment. An indictment is not evidence. Count 1 charges 2004 to 2024, a racketeering enterprise. Count 2 from 2009 to 2018, year of our Lord, trafficking of Cassie, Ventura. Count 3 from the year 2009 to 2018, transporting individuals, including but not limited to Ventura, for the purposes of prostitution. A judge says count 4 from 2019 to the year 2024 of our Lord, trafficking of Jane Doe, who's testifying under a pseudonym. We think she's Daphne Joy, but we can't confirm. But we know that her baby father is a famous rapper who only pays $4,700 a month. I correct myself from last week saying 67 is 47, and she was getting rent paid by Diddy. But on count 5, from 2019 to 2024, transportation of individuals, including but not limited to Jane, for the purpose of prostitution, each count is separate. For attempt, the U.S. must show intent, a substantial step taken. Mere intention, you hear me? Mere intention does not amount to an attempt. Aiding and abetting means knowingly doing some of the act to aid or encourage a criminal crime to be committed. For the RICO, what we're all here for, the RICO of one man, Sean Diddy Combs, the U.S. must provide and prove that from 2004 to 2024, the year of our Lord, there was an agreement between two or individuals for a racketeering enterprise that impacted interstate commerce, that the defendant joined and committed at least 2 predicate acts. All right. The judge is laying it down. The judge is professional. You know, when I hear that voice, I think of y'all probably don't know it. What is it? Y'all heard of Legends of the Hidden Temple? The jury asked for a 4-person. All right, the panel is instructed to send a note to notify the court. Y'all don't remember Legends of the Hidden Temple? Boy, I used to watch that as a kid, man. They didn't never let any athletic kids on here. So my two cousins, the one that played football and his brother Khaled, the producer, they got my cousin Muhammad. He was like a phenom. He was like one of the best running backs in St. Louis. So they got invited on Wild and Crazy Kids, but they were too athletic. They were Muhammad was too much, like for his age, his strength and speed was too much. So they took him off of Wild and Crazy Kids, man. That was messed up. Cause I think he said they had to do like some sprint stuff down to like a trampoline and like jump and throw something somewhere. And he was just running faster than everybody. So they had to kick him off. I was like, damn, that's messed up. I was just a kid. I was like, damn, Wild and Crazy Kids, man. But yeah, Legend of the Hidden Temple. The temple will be talking. It'll tell you what you got to do throughout the game. The red monkeys, the blue barracudas, the green frogs. Oh man, that shit used to be cool, man. Red apples. You'll be running through the maze today. Your job is to collect. You got to collect the 3 golden monkeys. It was like the feet, the body, and the head, and you got to put the monkey together before the time run out. They never came to Kansas City for no shit like that. I definitely would have been in there. The U.S. must prove a mutual understanding to cooperate. You may infer in instances for the circumstances of this case, action may speak louder than words. You may consider the acts of all of those you find to be participants. If you find that Combs Enterprise existed, you must find whether it continued to substantially similar form from 2004 to 2024. The people can change. As to the defendant being a member, he had to know of the existence of the enterprise. So basically saying Diddy needed to knew that Combs Enterprise was an enterprise and that it existed. But he did because he was booking shit through his own companies. But we'll see. So they making it as simple as possible. So the juries will know exactly what it is. They got to establish that there was an enterprise. The U.S. alleges 8 predicate kidnapping, arson, bribery, witness tampering, forced labor, trafficking, transportation for prostitution, the intent to distribute narcotics. The U.S. has to prove 2 offenses within 10 years. Kidnapping does not occur if the victim consented. Consent may be withdrawn. That means if I say, yeah, I want to roll. If I say, yeah, I want to roll, Popson took my gun from me, but I hopped out the window and I hopped in the back of my boy's 6 tray. You know what I mean? And we heading out. I'm consenting to roll with them niggas, man. I'm rolling with y'all. This is my consent. Let's go slide. I'm consenting. But when the nigga said, "Doe, let me out. Yo, Doe, let me out." You see what Doughboy did? He respected his partner. He withdrew his consent. He didn't say no words. Ain't no one say nothing. They ain't look at him and say, "Man, you old bitch ass nigga, Trey." Nah, it's got to be consensual. They let Trey up out of there. If Trey would have been like, "Let me out, Doe," and Doe didn't let him out, did that mean you kidnapping Trey, Doe? You can't do that. But you see how Doe complied? Let me out. He couldn't hear him because the wind. Hey, yo, Doe, let me out. He pulled over. He withdrawn his consent. Just because we go and start something don't mean we got to finish it. I don't want no part of it. I'm withdrawing my consent. So Doe like, let me out. Well, Trey said, let me out. And Doe said, okay, get out. Just so you guys can understand. So when Capricorn Clark was in the car when she was forced, she already didn't even want to go. When he came over with that gun, told me, we got to go get this nigga Cudi. She got in the whip, but she couldn't leave because Diddy had that Thule. And Diddy said, you can't leave till Cassie get here. So she withdrew her. Well, she never gave consent. But Diddy never allowed her to leave on her own. You know what I mean? She was scared of the lions. But once they left where the mountain lions was, and they had to call up Cassie, that's still the kidnapping, where Diddy physically told her or verbally told her, you can't leave until Cassie get here. That's without consent. All right. Arson under California law means that the conspirator set the fire or caused the fire maliciously or willingly, whatever way you want to put it. Was he being malicious behind it, or was he just doing what he did? So it don't mean he did it, just a conspirator. Is there a conspiracy between the incidents that happened with Diddy kidnapping Capricorn Clark, breaking in the house, and then the motherfucking car? Yeah, it's a conspiracy right there. They say word on the block, Diddy did that shit. The only way we know any about this is because of Diddy. The only way any of us even heard about Kid Cudi before they even got the trial, we heard that Kid Cudi's car may have been blown up. So a conspirator to a conspiracy that we all been wondering for at least a year sounds guilty to me. Bribery. A witness under California law requires that the conspirator gave a promise to give a bribe to a person given or about to give information to law enforcement, unlawfully influence them. Bribery right there. Listen, the conspirator gave a promise to give a bribe to a person about to give information to law enforcement or that is. So even before you go tell the police, if the nigga's offering you money, hey man, don't tell the police. It don't matter. If the police is gonna be involved and you paying them off, that's a bribe. They got your ass. They ain't even told the police yet. It ain't like I'm bribing you. Hey, you talk to the police, huh? Don't say nothing else to her. They say even if you tell them, you give them money before they go tell. I ain't even had the intent to tell yet. I was intending on telling next year when I figure you already locked up, so I can get the money while you already locked up. That she won't backfire on. They said before they even give the information of his bribery. To unlawfully influence them. You giving that money, they ain't gonna say nothing. Well, you influencing them not to tell the truth because they saw something. You see what I'm saying? That's the law. Billy said that's hearsay. Which one is hearsay? Which one would you say is hearsay? What up, E-Dub? I don't believe he's gonna beat all of these charges. If he does, he'll beat. I think he can beat 2 charges, maybe. If I had to give him a number, I think it'd be 3-2. But I don't know. The way they laying out these laws is just making it real easy and simple to just okay, that happened. What up, Jay Brooks? So the bribery, that's crazy. For witness tampering, it violates 18 section 1512B3. It does not matter if the subject of the threat is in fact fearful. Only a threat is required, but it must be known. Forced labor. 18 section 1589A requires use of force or the use of force for physical restraint. Jeez Louise. Just the use of force of physical restraint is forced labor. Yeah, there's no fingerprints, but that's why it's called a conspiracy. They just need you to willingly know. They know that it wasn't a guy's fingerprints there. They know it was a woman's, but it's for the juror to decide. Is all of that just a coincidence? The police showing up and seeing that a bad boy Escalade was there. Capricorn Clark was in the vehicle and notified Kid Cudi and Cassie that they were there. That's why Diddy drove off. So it's like they're just trying to put together the conspiracy. It didn't say he had to do it. It's just a conspirator. Yeah, but Billy, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's good. Keep asking those questions, Billy. That's why we're here. That is why we're here. You said in the closing arguments, Diddy's lawyer said that That can't be bribery because the police were never involved. Not even no one called 911. Well, this whole bribery incident is after the incident happened. This is a day or 2 days later. You see what I'm saying? The night that the incident happened, Cassie went home and Diddy went over there with the hammer. They didn't file nothing because a day later is when they set up the whole thing. That's when we got the Edie my angel text messages. And what it says for bribery is promise to give a bribe to a person giving or about to give, to unlawfully influence it, meaning you ain't had to tell them. But in the event that you wanted to, you couldn't because they paid you not to. It's a bribe. That's exactly what it says here. That a person that's given or about to give the information, but he was unlawfully influenced by the bribery money, so he couldn't even go to give the information. That's why it's a bribe. That's why they say or about to give information. It's in the black and white. They word it just for that. So people can't just come in here and say, well, you know, no one called the police. Nigga, we have a letterhead that says Bad Boy Records on it with Edie's name and a picture of his driver's license that's dated. The data in there is the same time frame that the damn NDA was signed, and there's call logs. So it's like, we know that the money was given for the tape because the tape was never released. So it's a bribery because you couldn't give up the information. And they knew he didn't, well, they got it. Remember, it's not on the defense to prove that it didn't happen. It's on the prosecution. So they got to, hopefully they did a good job if they want to win this. If not, then yeah, you can take bribery off. But that's why they threw this in there, for that specific reason. Like, man, you paying money. Witness tampering, it doesn't matter if the subject to the threat is in fact fearful. Only a threat is required, but it must be known. Forced labor requires the use of force or the use of force for physical restraint. Yeah, and Diddy was on the phone. I'll blow that motherfucking car up. Like, and then a week later it happens. But again, that's what I say, it's on the jurors. We can all have our opinion. And remember, guys, there's no wrong opinion. I'm not saying I know everything, because I don't. I'm just reading this from my interpretation. I could be completely wrong, but remember, I'm not a lawyer. I'm a doctor. A person may withdraw consent and it may become forced labor. Trafficking will have some of the same definition in counts 2 and 4. Transportation to engage in the P2 is the same as 3 and 5. Next is distribution of narcotics, including this long word that you see here, knowingly and intentionally. So here you guys go, the legal jargon. Distribution means the actual transfer to deliver to another person. For possession, physical custody is not needed. Control is enough. Distribution means the actual transfer to deliver to another person. It doesn't matter. It doesn't say if they were willing participants. It doesn't say they wanted the dope. It says the actual transfer to deliver from one person to another person. It don't say they wanted the drugs. The law don't say they were willing participant. It just says distribution is the act of transferring to deliver from one person to another. If you come up to me and I hand you something and we embrace and you go your way and I go my way, that's distribution. I didn't have to sell it to you. I just had to transfer it to you. Whether that's me having it in a backpack and setting the backpack down and you come and pick it up, if they got surveillance on that, that's distribution. As soon as that thing go in your hand, it's over with. That's why the best thing to do is drop it. Drop it and say, whoa, 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 he didn't transfer that to me. There was an incomplete transfer. There's like an incomplete pass. It means it's turnover on downs. You can just take the dope and leave. I didn't transfer. He handed it to me. I dropped it. It wasn't a full possession. It wasn't possession now. And it says possession is physical custody, not needed. Control. I didn't have control over the dope, so it's not a distribution or possession charge. I didn't have control. He handed it off. I dropped it. There's a turnover on downs, so I'm just taking the dope to get it off the streets because I don't want no kids to get to it. And for possession, physical custody is not needed. So I don't need to be holding on to it. If it's in my house, if there's a pound of if it's sitting in the house, my house, I got control over this house. That means it's mine, unless someone else in the house can claim it. You see what I'm saying? So all that, oh, it's personal. No. That ain't Diddy's. How y'all know that's Diddy's? Because it was in that nigga's room. You gotta have control of that room. It's just like your car. You gotta have full control of the car at all times. For the RICO, has a 5-year statute of limitation. You must find that it continued past 2019. If you find the government had not proved this beyond a reasonable doubt, you must find the defendant not guilty. Trafficking counts 2 and 4. Transport means to take Infidel said co-defendants testimony incoming. RICO means 3 or more co-defendants. I've been part of a RICO. He's a walking dead man. RICO it equals remember the original arrest, plain honky with the indictments. Yeah, he got up here and testified, and he even said, well, I wasn't a drug mule, but it was a part of my job. Yeah, man. But on the original paperwork, it said Diddy was defendant 1. All right. On trafficking count 2 and 4, transport means to take or convey from one place to another. Reckless disregard satisfies the statute, the deliberate closing of eyes. What? Reckless disregard satisfies the statute, the deliberate closing of eyes. You must be unanimous on at least one specific instance of trafficking. Wait. You must be unanimous on at least one specific instance. Is this for all, like both charges, or are they saying you got to be unanimous for one for each one? Like one for Cassie and then one for Jane Doe. Are they saying you just need to be unanimous for at least one, and that'll cover both of them? That can't be right. That's got to be, you got to get unanimous for both of them. Maybe he just didn't have enough space. On counts 3 and 5, knowingly transporting or arranging for the transportation of an individual for purposes on an act of petition, buying or arranging a ticket is enough. Prostitution does not need to be the main purpose. You see? You can fly somebody out. You and her can have the time of y'all lives. If you pay for that push hang, or in Diddy's case for that ding dong, it's prostitution. But if she comes out and y'all just having regular, casual, consensual, or y'all and he or whatever y'all do, that's not illegal. But once they get done and you're paying for them to do that, they said just booking a ticket is enough if they coming out there for an X act. Now y'all can do X act, but you can't pay for that X act. It's all right to book a ticket, But when you start paying people to have X, then that's where it becomes a crime. You can fly out, you can get gifts for each other, you can do whatever you want. That ain't what y'all came here for. Y'all came to enjoy each other's time. But if you flying them out and they look at them text messages and all you talking about, ooh, you get, I'm gonna tear that thing up, especially for this $72 I done put up. I know this, I'm about to tear that thing up like it's a motherfucking porterhouse steak, boy. I'm about to get at that thing. Yeah, you over here talking about like that. Oh yeah, they on your ass. You book that ticket, you know, you come over, you gotta give me some ass, girl. Shit, I'm talking about dropping you off 2,000. See, it's an exchange for that. But if you would have just removed that 2,000 and you know, y'all would have did what y'all did, it wouldn't have been P2 shit. It wouldn't be P2 shit. But when you're doing it like this, hey, can you be out there, passport? We're gonna have a hotel night. We're gonna have us a time of our lives, and we're gonna tip you good. Oh yeah, it's illegal. Even just it don't even say you gotta buy it. It just say arranging a ticket is enough. The law is the law. Just arranging a ticket. You know what? What day can you leave? Shit. She talking about she can fly out on Wednesday. Well, you just arranged it. You picked the date. You're like, damn, that's that. Wait a minute. All I did was just pick a random date. The feds don't give a fuck. That's enough. All you gotta do is arrange a ticket. You ain't even gotta purchase that motherfucker. You can put that bitch in the cart and put that motherfucker, pay that little $5 or whatever you got. If you got a good credit card, then it'll just notify you when the price change. If you put that little price change notification on, oh, your ass going to jail. That's arranging a ticket right there. Oh man, they get you on everything. They get you on everything. Just arranging a ticket. What I tell y'all, hey, you come to see me, you need to book your own flight. I'll handle everything else on my end, but you need to book a flight. I ain't booking flights and then you cancel and I'm trying to call the motherfucking airline. Hey, yo, what's up with that refund? Well, you know, we don't get refund. Like, oh shit, you're gonna have to come up off that money, man. I ain't against taking this to civil trial. See, that's what I'm saying. All you gotta do is just fly them out. They gonna do whatever they do. You ain't gotta pay them, man. You could have kept this all the way. This could have just been a regular ass engagement. All he had to do is find some willing participants, but instead he wanted to pay them for their silence and fucked them all the way over. P2 is engaging in X activity for money or its equivalent. Yeah, you didn't dropped off that watch, huh? You thought you were gonna get away with it. Sending your ass to prison. You must be unanimous on at least one specific act of transportation with the intent to engage in P2. On venue, the U.S. must prove at least one account occurred in the Southern District of New York, 8 counties. Well, yeah, I mean, there is a lot of P2 going on. It just ain't no one filing complaints about it. I'm telling you now, like we can go out, hang out, we can take like little trip and shit, but man, I ain't paying for no X. I'd rather buy a car or a new Rolex. That's what little Flip told me. He said, me, I'm a pimp. I ain't paying for no sex. I'd rather buy a car or a new Rolex. I said, okay, Flip, that makes a lot of sense. You come out, we can kick it and shit, but I ain't paying for that thing. You got your mind. That guest room, hot as hell up in that guest room. You figure it out. You figure out, get you a glass of water, open up that window. Be all right. Don't be dehydrated. But remember, you just got one night. You know, how to get you a hotel. You can your 24 will be up in a minute. You get you a hotel and get on out here now. Just remember, just walk on the street and don't go too close to downtown with your bags. The bums be out there. All right, we're in the home stretch. It's weighing in expert testimony. You should not accept it just because I allowed it. The testimony of the government officials are not worth more or less weight than any of the other witnesses. Witnesses given immunity should be examined with greater can that ordinary witnesses. So they're saying if the person has immunity, you should examine them more. You should examine them greater than an ordinary witness, because if they got immunity, they facing jail time if they getting up here and bullshit. So the judge said, hey, if they got immunity, you want to listen to them. Hey, see, y'all live in a fantasy world, but I'm up front. I like to say what's on my mind. I just ain't got no, like Being in the military, shit's totally different than being in the real world. So you really got to be careful what you do. You can't really be too much of a player. Not saying that I was, but in the military, this shit different. Like how the feds is on them. If you like if just a regular enlisted, they don't play around with none of that X shit. You get that, man, you're done. You're done. They're getting your ass up out of there. All right. So examine the witnesses with immunity to the highest standard. Charts and summaries, demonstrative aids are not evidence and will not be available to you in the jury room. So all they can do is testimony and go over the transcripts. Certain witnesses were permitted to be identified by pseudonyms. That should bear on your evaluation of credibility. The defendant had no responsibility to testify, and he did not. You must not attach any significance to that. So you can't hold it against Diddy because he didn't get up there. Every defendant has a right to take the stand. Most of the time, it's not a good thing to take the stand, especially in criminal cases. Just let your lawyers duke it out. Because if you got good prosecution, they're going to get on your ass. Voluntary intoxication may negate the intent requirement, the requirement of RICO predicates. Excuse me. Shit, they saying voluntary intoxication, boy. That might negate it. Uncalled witnesses, you have heard names of people not called as witnesses. Each side had an equal opportunity to call them. Do not speculate or consider this. Any notes you took are only for you. No outside reading. You are to consider only what was presented within the four walls of this courtroom. You may not communicate about this case, including on X, Instagram, or YouTube. Damn, I was going, man, look, juror number 9. I was going to contact juror number 9. I could say, hey, man, get on this live with me. I'm going to put a little voice change on there. I was going to get some in-house, but they said they can't communicate with us. I don't want them going to jail. They didn't say we couldn't talk on Facebook or Truth Social. I'm about to go get on Reddit. What up, Stephen Harris? Diddy didn't have an issue getting willing participants. It was his unwilling ones that the prosecution is dependent on. Exactly, man. You didn't have to do all this. Cassie's an attractive girl, but man, you ain't have to do all of this. Don't be swayed by bias, including implicit bias. These hidden thoughts can impact what we hear and see and how we remember it. You will now retire to consider the case. Each of you must decide the case for himself or herself after deliberating. Your verdict must be unanimous. If you are divided, do not report the specifics. Your foreperson will send out any notes and any verdict. Any communication with the court should and shall be in writing. The alternates do not have to be here, but given your phone number to my deputy. You may be called to replace a juror. You will be called when a verdict is reached. Alternates are 234 247 292 321 and 330. Those in the top row, get the fuck out the courtroom. Do not read any news report on this trial. If there were to be any, please accept my heartfelt gratitude for your service over the past 2 months or even more. My deputy will provide my personal contact information. I could give you a tour of the courthouse. Nigga, ain't nobody trying to see that motherfucking courthouse, nigga. I'd have been in here 32 days plus jury selection, 40 days. You think I want to tour the motherfucking... Nigga, you need to be touring me to where I can file these taxes for free next year. That's what you need to be touring me to. Motherfucker, excuse me for taxes for a year. Shit, I didn't just did court. However long you go to court, you shouldn't have to pay taxes on that much. And you should be able to pick the month or like the time that you want to pay it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna start working that overtime and shit. I'm just put it on that one. You know what I mean? Don't tax on that shit. No tax on that one. All right, here's the verdict sheet. Only if you find a defendant guilty of count one, answer this. Only if you find a defendant guilty of count one, answer as to each predicate. Not proved or proved. And did X trafficking involve X trafficking of Cassie or Jane? Count 2, 3, 4, and 5. Not guilty or guilty. So it's just yes or no. Did it happen or didn't it happen? From now on, your schedule is your own. You will be provided with meals. Now the marshal will swear you in. Done. Now the jurors can head back into the jury room. All rise, all rise. The jurors have exited. Deliberation is now. The state said, we object to including the subject lines of a BlackBerry message like, I'm so horny. Diddy's lawyer said, it is common for exhibits to include subject lines. BlackBerry messages are most akin to emails than to text messages. Judge said, let's have only neutral lists go to the jury. I'll trust the parties to prove an appropriate laptop to the jurors. I'm going to stick around for a bit, but we'll just stay here as long as they wish to deliberate. At the end of the day, we'll bring them in. I appreciated both sides in this case. Anything before we adjourn? Comey said no. Can we go to another floor of the courthouse? The judge said, just give me your cell phone number and kiss me through the phone. All right, so we're just here, guys. Dun, 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 dun. Judge, we received a note from the jury. They have selected juror number 5 as a foreperson. It is signed by juror number 5, and there is an agreement on the laptop. It will be taken into them. Now we'll have a longer break. Court is adjourned, and we're just waiting, hoping and wishing. Hoping and wishing, guys. That's it. They went into the back. Deliberations begin. Yeah, it was a good 2 months, man. Good 2 months, 32 days, guys. We did it, y'all. We made it through the case. We don't know if Diddy's innocent or guilty. We don't know if he's guilty or innocent. But right now, he is innocent until proven guilty. It could either be a guilty charge or not guilty. He's innocent. Judge grants request for Diddy to have books in holding cell. Man, Diddy don't need. When did he ever read a book? So Diddy's about to just be in the back in the cell. Like the jurors, they go in the back, they deliberating. They retire for the evening. The prosecutors are going upstairs. I don't know where the defense is, but they told Diddy, you got to take your black ass back to the cell, nigga. He talking about gonna get books. What books you want, Diddy? Green eggs and ham, nigga? What you want? Diddy talking, let me get some books while I wait. And nigga, do some push-ups, nigga. We seen you. You look like you was out of breath in there. Jog in place, some chin-ups or something. Diddy talking about, can I get some books? No, nigga. How long you think you about to be back there waiting? Oh, you ain't heard them niggas already said you was guilty. We just waiting on the word. You know what I'm saying? We just waiting right now. We drawing it out. You know what I'm saying? The drama, you know, when we put together this damn documentary on your ass, it's gonna be deliberation for 17 hours. They just couldn't get it. It was such a tight case. But in the end, Diddy pulled through. He beat 3 out of the 5 charges. He got hit with being a real nigga on the RICO, man. If Diddy really want to keep this bad boy image alive, he got to get found guilty on the RICO. He could beat the other charges. If he gets the RICO, he bad boy for life. If he get the other charges, oh, it's over with. We got to say fuck his kids too. No disrespect to the kids. Nah, we're not giving them no books. Now you want to read? Oh man, am I gonna put my money? Nah, there's too many charges. If it was just like one or two charges, all right, yeah. But you trying to get me on a parlay? Trying to get me on a parlay, 5 counts. I can hit a 5-leg parlay on their ass. That's it. I mean, that's all we got, guys. That's all she wrote. Murder, she wrote. Murder, she wrote. I'm gonna put up a poll for y'all. We're gonna see. I got Diddy guilty on the RICO for sure. I think the RICO is a good go. And then shit. All right. I got him guilty on the RICO for sure. And the 2 counts of P2. Those are mine for sure. The X trafficking, I don't know. Even though the RICO by itself carries life. So it's like you don't even need all 5 of the charge. All you need is the RICO. You could potentially stretch that out to a life, depending on how the judge is going to be. But I think the RICO, because 2 out of 8, that's those odds are terrible. You know what I mean? 2 out of 8, because think about it. They going through the counts. It's 2 out of 8. What if you get hit on the first one? What if you get hit on the first one? That means you got to go 7-0. You got to go 7-0 to beat the RICO. You know what I mean? What if you get hit on the first one? It's like, God, dude. Nigga, the odds of you going 7-0 is tough. Nigga, I know you about to be in this bitch sweating. Now, if you make it to like number 4 and they hit you on 4, you're like, no, shit, I gotta go 4-0 now. That's still tough. That's still tough as hell to go 4-0. 2 out of 8. Oh man, that's some bullshit, man. They don't want to see me winning. They want to see me in a penitentiary, man. Shit. It ain't like it's 3, it's 2. You know what I mean? You get the 2, like, all right, cool, I'm good. I got one more. No, nigga, it's 2. You got 1 act, okay, maybe I fucked up, but you can't 2, maybe when you go to work, let's just say in 1 week, you do 2, you know what I'm saying? You do 2, maybe 3, like I fucked up, but I can fix it type shits. Think about it. When you go to work in a month, let alone 10 years, you didn't done something like, oh shit, I kind of fucked up. Not saying that it's to the extent of like a crime or anything, but it's just like, damn, I fucked up. You can go back and fix it or something. Like Diddy had opportunities to go back and fix it. This is 10 years. If he would have just stopped and corrected himself, he would have been good. But instead, this nigga continued. So like that RICO 2 out of 8, that I don't care if these charges are trumped up or not. 2 out of 8 is ridiculous. Man, you're not beating that. So the drug charge is up under the RICO. So y'all see, now y'all going into all kinds of different betting. I thought we were just doing the RICO as a whole. Now y'all betting on the 8 individual predicate charges. Y'all breaking it. Oh man, hell dog. See, that's why I don't gamble. It's just too much extra shit. I hate losing money, man. I really do. Oh yes, I was gonna make a poll. Yeah, man. So the RICO for sure. I think that RICO is for sure. Diddy equals OJ free. Shit. Hey, fucking 7-0, like, dog, think about it. You got 8 chances to fuck up. If you get hit on that first one, that means you had to. They didn't bring this case. They didn't bring this case because you was a model citizen for a 10-year period. They brought this case and put 8 charges out, 8 predicate acts, because they know you did more. They think you did 8. They only got to prove you did 2. They're telling the jurors, look, all the evidence we presented covers these 8 things. All we need you to do is find 2. Nigga, you know how hard that is to beat? Because you're not here for one count of bullshit. You're here for a goddamn span of all the dumb shit you've been doing for your sins. Going 7-0 is fucking hard as hell, man. Like, man, I'm telling you, the worst feeling, knowing the way I think, I don't really think too positively. So going into this, my mind is already, I'm hit on the first 2. I'm already thinking I'm screwed on the first. That's just how my mind I don't know why, but I'm already thinking like, fuck, I'm cooked. Because I know as soon as I get in there, on the predicate act 1, upon the RICO bribery, guilty. God, shit. On the account of tampering with a witness, we find out the guilty. Like, dog, it's like, dog, they said bribery. If they were already giving information to the police, or they was about to, they didn't even have to talk to the police. But if they could have talked to the police, nigga, that's bribery. Like, god damn. But that's why I say it's the black and white. We got to hear what they're gonna read to the jurors. Distribution. Everybody talking about, man, he wasn't selling it to nobody. Nigga, all it has to do is be a successful transfer from one hand to another hand. That hand got different DNA than this hand, you going to jail. Now, if I transfer from this hand, you know what I'm saying, because I like to smoke on my right hand, if I transfer, like, you know what I'm saying, it's just a crossover right there. That ain't illegal. That right there is just possession. But if I just doing a little crossover, you know what I'm saying, that the same hands, it ain't distribution. But if this hand got different DNA than this hand and they complete a transaction, and it ain't got to be worth a damn. It's just distribution. Patty cake, playing patty cake. Distribution. You putting your skin on their skin. Distribution. Get their ass to jail, man. Spreading DNA. Yeah, man. 7-0 is tough. Especially if you get hit on the first count or the first act. And then the prostitution one, that's easy. We got multiple people saying that they went out there. Yeah, they call themselves escort, but they got paid for X. And we got a text message from Diddy talking about, I'll tip you extra. He said, for what? He said, for sex. What? Now, the prosecution don't have to separate the crimes. The predicate acts all fall up under it. Each predicate act is its own. It's 8 different charges. But you just got to find them. It's 8 different charges upon that act. In order to get the RICO, you just got to prove 2 of them. So they don't have to separate them. Well, I mean, all the crimes are separated. Like, you got an arson charge in there, and then you got the bribery charge. But the arson and the bribery aren't together. You just got to prove them as far as the RICO. But then the extra 2 counts of X trafficking, you got to prove both of those, and then the 2 counts of PDiddy, which I think that's easy because they got text messages. And remember, it just said even if Cassie set it up, guess what? It said arranging. So if Diddy's telling Cassie what rooms and what hotels to stay at, Diddy's arranging it. He's telling her what to do. So it didn't say that he had a bias, just arranging it. That's literally the law. You could be arranging it. You could buy the ticket or you could just arrange that shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, the way they got this written, the law was the law, man. Now, Bob Marley shot the sheriff, but he didn't shoot the deputy. I can tell you that for sure. Bob Marley took the right route. He was like, all right, I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot the deputy. Yeah, because the deputy wasn't the bad one. The sheriff was. I shot the sheriff. You remember that one song that said, I fought the law when the law won? This is why they be winning. They wrote the law. This shit's crazy. 7-0 is what this nigga's aiming for. It ain't like getting 70%. Oh, you gotta be damn near. You gotta be damn near perfect. You gotta have that 90% and above. A's is the only thing that passes in a RICO. That A is the only thing that passes. You can't miss one. I think he's guilty of a couple of charges, but the jurors would not agree on all. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. That works in his favor. But see, that RICO is just ridiculous. Because let's say he beats counts 2, 3, 4, and 5. If he gets the RICO, they could still get this nigga like fucking 60 years, 70 years. The RICO alone is life. It could be life. See what I'm saying? Like, even if he beats the other 4, it's still like, man, they can still give him 40, 50 years, 60 years. It depends on which ones they get, so we can see what the max are for him. Yeah, Diddy better off paying the lottery than trying to win this. But I think he'd be all right. I think he'd be all right. He gonna beat 2 of them. I just don't see that RICO. Legend of the Hidden Temple. Oh boy. Let me see. Yeah, the narcotics part, distribution of narcotics includes this long word that you see here. I don't know if you're talking about knowingly and intentionally, but distribution means actual transfer to deliver to another person. For possession, physical custody is not needed. Control is enough. So this is all in my control here. Everything the light touches. It was 1 hour, 42 minutes ago. All right, we're going to see if Mark and Nifalo did his thing or not.
The case of United States of America versus Sean Combs is now in the hands of a jury. 8 men and 4 women will decide 3 separate charges: racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, transportation for the purposes of prostitution. In a jury room like this, the jurors will be poring over their notes, the evidence, the testimony. The only question left: how long will it take to reach a verdict? For R&B singer R. Kelly, who was also indicted on federal charges of racketeering and sex trafficking, it took a jury 2 days to find him guilty of all 9 counts. For NXIVM leader Keith Raniere, who was on trial for racketeering, sex trafficking, conspiracy, and other crimes, it took jurors less than 5 hours to return an all-count guilty verdict. Ghislaine Maxwell, known for her association with sex offender and financier Jeffrey Epstein, the jury in her federal trial for sex trafficking and conspiracy, taking 5 days to find her guilty on most counts.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder.
Perhaps the most famous of all, the acquittal of O.J. Simpson for the murders of Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown. The jury sequestered for the 8-month trial, taking just 4 hours to deliver a verdict in the trial of the century.
OJ got out of there
Sean
quick.
Combs has denied all the charges. He has maintained his innocence throughout. During deliberations, the jury is not sequestered. That's not really a thing here at federal court, where we're going to be on verdict watch for the foreseeable future.
Damn, man, they just told
Sean did.
They just told Diddy, like, man, look, they got OJ out in 4 hours. You think you can beat that, Diddy? You think you got a better innocent chance than OJ? Well, OJ didn't do it. I know people feel they certain type of ways. The court said OJ ain't do it. OJ ain't did it. A jury amongst his peers said he ain't do it. So it's the same with Diddy. You know what I mean? If he beats it, he ain't did it. But if he did it, damn it, Diddy did it. Diddy done it. I just tell y'all this. If you been in my chat talking shit, I'm telling Diddy where y'all at. They right here, Diddy. They were against you. I was the only one in here. Yeah, I knew Diddy was innocent. The whole time I knew he was innocent. They asking me at work, you gonna cover it tonight? I'm like, shit, I might see what I can do, man. It's high as a muff. I'll tell y'all this, so y'all better run, though. Diddy is not playing around with y'all. 3-minute TikTok, nigga, please.
After listening to Diddy's case for 7 long weeks, the jurors have now entered the jury room in order to begin deliberations. They have until 5 p.m. each day in that room, but the judge told them they can choose to stay longer if they want to. Of course, before they went into the jury room, he had to give them instructions, and he details 8 alleged racketeering acts. Here is what they were told. To convict Diddy of racketeering conspiracy, the jury must find that he agreed with at least one other member of his alleged enterprise to commit 2 qualifying crimes within 10 years of each other. The indictment charges Combs with conspiring with co-conspirators to commit kidnapping, arson, bribery, forced labor, transportation to engage in prostitution, trafficking, witness tampering, and possession with intent to distribute controlled substances. Racketeering conspiracy is charged as count 1 on the indictment, but there are still counts 2, 3, 4, and 5. What are the other counts? Count 2 charges Combs with trafficking Cassie Ventura from roughly 2009 to 2018. Count 3 alleges Sean Diddy Combs transported Cassie Ventura and commercial workers across state lines from roughly 2009 to 2018. Count 4 charges him with trafficking Jane from 2021 to 2024. Count 5 alleges he transported Jane and commercial workers from 2021 to 2024. After going through all of that, he explains further, saying kidnapping does not occur if the victim consented. Consent may be withdrawn. Arson under California law means the conspirator set fire or caused the affair willfully or maliciously. Witness tampering, it does not matter if the subject of the threat is in fact fearful, only a threat is required. Forced labor requires the use of force or use of force.
All right, man. You're not about to do the job I just did. I hadn't already read all that. I thought you was going to give us some new information. Reading everything we didn't already read. For sure thought we was about to hear something. Where's what's that lady's name? Who did he conspire with? No, he conspired with a couple people. Christina Courtroom with security, with Robin, with Brandon Paul. Yeah, there's a couple of them. Oh man, they want me to sign in. What's that lady's name, man? What the hell?
Part.
It was his kingdom.
Here we go.
Starting today, we are on verdict watch for the Diddy trial. The jury is expected to begin deliberations today. I'm headed to court right now, and then we will be on standby. I figure it could take at least until Wednesday. And remember, court is closed on Thursday and Friday for the holiday. Now, unless something changes, I should be on the list to be one of a handful of journalists who get to be inside the courtroom when the verdict is handed down. Now, I've been covering this trial since the very beginning. It's been a long 8 weeks. So if you need to catch up or you would just like a refresher, I have a playlist on my page. It's called Diddy Trial, and it is a 76-part playlist. And since we're just on standby, drop in the comments anything that you want me to go over while we wait. Starting today, we are on verdict.
All right. We're not going to go watch no 72 part. Yeah, we're just going to be sitting around. I guess we're just going to be waiting. I'm about to go maximize my time and give me something to eat for dinner. Because, you know, I ain't been able to eat early like I want to. We received a note from the jury. Still adjourned. Defense table, his lawyer, this girl is typing away on his laptop. As we said, what happened now that between the jury notes, Diddy has been taken back into the holding cell during the court adjournment. At least for now, Sean Combs is still in the courtroom. Family members, so they got his ass up out of there. Yeah, so we here, guys. 2 out of 8 counts, man. Well, acts. Predicate acts. It's gonna be, I don't know. Who knows, man? Diddy might beat this. Diddy might go home a proud man. If Diddy goes home, y'all gotta run up his album, Last Train to Paris. No, the Love album. If he goes home.
I chose Wix for my business because of its massive scope for functionality and freedom of creation. Being able to integrate and
No, we probably won't have a verdict till tomorrow. They got till Wednesday. Well, they want to try to get it done by Wednesday.
You know, when they'll come back with a verdict. We don't know if this jury is going to be splintered. We don't know right now if of these, 8 men and 4 women, or if I think I have that right, where they stand and if there's going to be an impasse on one count or multiple counts. But where they begin, you know, they usually start with the indictment, and they usually will track the indictment because they're going to have a copy of it back there with them. And what ops they hit along the way might dictate how they pivot and then look on to different charges.
And I wonder if they'll start with racketeering, or they'll start with sex trafficking, or maybe they'll start with transportation to engage in prostitution, which again seems to be like the more streamlined, more simplified charge to potentially convict Sean Combs on. And that's not advocating for him to be found guilty. That's just, in my legal opinion, feels like the strongest case for the prosecution. Let me go to you, Mauricio.
You know, Jesse, what's interesting about that, I wanted to add was, let's assume that this jury only convicted him of that third count.
Yeah.
Under federal sentencing guidelines, he's only exposed to, believe it or not, 15 to 21 months of incarceration on that count.
Up to 10 years, though. Up to 10 years.
Yeah, but sentencing on that exposed to, believe it or not, count.
Yeah.
Under federal sentencing guidelines, he's only convicted. Interesting about that, I wanted to add was, Let's assume that this jury only convicted him of that third count. Add
prosecution for him to be found guilty. That's just in my legal opinion. Sean Combs on and seems to be like the more streamlined, more simplified charge to potentially convict Sean Combs on. And that's not advocating for him to be found guilty. That's just in my legal opinion, feels like the strongest case for the prosecution. Let me go to you, Mauricio.
You know, Jesse, what's interesting about that, I wanted to add was, let's assume that this jury only convicted him of that third count. Under federal sentencing guidelines, he's only exposed to, believe it or not, 15 to 21 months of incarceration on that count.
Up to 10 years, though. Up to 10 years.
Yeah, but sentencing guidelines are followed by the judges routinely, and nobody gets a statutory max on any kind of a crime who's never been convicted of a crime before. So the guidelines this judge will start with for that count is only 15 to 21 months. So you talk about a victory for the defense. If that were to happen, it'd be a home run. He's almost got that time in.
Yeah, because think about it like this. He's looking at potentially life in prison for racketeering conspiracy. He's looking up to minimum 15 years in prison on sex trafficking. So yeah, 100% that would be a win. Okay, Mauricio, we go to you at Stella K80 or K80. How much does a lawyer's charisma, likability, and skill with the razzle-dazzle influence the outcome of a big trial such as this? Great reporting and hi from the UK. Thank you so much for the great question, and thank you for watching abroad. So I guess, how much does a lawyer's charisma, likability, skill, razzle-dazzle, how much does it affect the jury?
I think it's everything. I think it's everything. You have to keep them entertained. You have to keep them paying attention. They have to, at some level, like you, and they have to, at some level, like your client. If you expect for all of them to acquit your client, I've said this previously. I mean,
because to be these jurors, not an easy task. Being on this trial for 7 weeks, now there's deliberations and everything they've seen. We asked the question, a poll: have you served as a juror on a state or federal jury? 14%.
All right, man. So we just sitting around. We figuring it out. We like old people now. We just gotta mind our business and
said yes. 86%.
See if they get Diddy or not. So what we need to do right now is just all come together and hold hands and wish for the best. I mean, it might be a fast deliberation. They might be back there because it's already at least an hour. Yeah, it was at 54 minutes. They might already be back there. All right, let's knock out the easy one. Transportation to engage in P2. All in favor say yay. Yeah. All against say nay. All right, well, we got the 2 counts of P2 have been out of here. Which he was just saying would be a what? 15 to 21 months. We know that one with the max is 10 years. It's just what, 3 years? You gotta do a year and a half or a year. Yeah, they deliberate now. Verdict watch. First hour. Shit, Jane, I'd be tired, man. I was supposed to watch a show yesterday when I got back, but you don't be understanding, man. I'd be tired when I get off work, and this heat ain't doing no better. All right, verdict watch, nothing there. Sure, y'all got to send me some because, well, look. This is what we about to do. Cause I do got stuff. I got to start packing because Wednesday I'm not coming home from work. I'm getting right on the road. So look, you ain't missed nothing. We just got the instruction, but man, we about to be on verdict watch, and if there is a verdict, I'll be getting back on. But I got to wash some more clothes and I got to start packing though, because I'm about to be gone Wednesday all the way till Sunday. Tuesday when I get off work, it ain't no coming back. Well, Wednesday when I get off work, ain't no coming back. I'm getting on the road, and then I'll be coming back, and then headed to the airport. So if there's a verdict that's gonna be dropped, because we ain't got too much to talk about, man. I feel like that nigga Diggy. I feel like going home. It ain't looking good, man. I think that Rico about to whoop his ass, and probably the 2 counts of P2 for sure. So I got 3 out of 5 at the moment, but they might be able to tie into max trafficking. I don't know how the jurors are gonna think about it, but I think those other 3 are locked and sealed, ready to go. I'm giving my prediction right now, JVR. I think the Rico count 1, 3, and 5. 1, 3, and 5. I think all of those is guilty. The 2 X trafficking is gonna really be up to the jurors on how they interpret that. I could put it in there, but I'll let them get those. I think transportation to engage in prostitution, that's easy. We know he done paid multiple times. That's all he was doing. And even the defense told me if they didn't have X, they didn't perform. You know what I'm saying? They get paid. But we also seen that Diddy was mad that he had to pay $600. And the dude, I'm calling your manager. Like, damn, Diddy, how you gonna call the escorts manager? It's like going up, man, look, I know I came into your establishment, we're doing some illegal stuff, but I expect a certain level of customer service around here. So I think the 2 transportation, I think that's an easy one. That's too easy. And then the Rico, I think going 7-0 is tough, let alone going 8-0. But you can't even think about 8-0. You got to just think 7-0. Like, you're allowed to miss 1 answer on this test. The only problem, this ain't a test. You know what I mean? This ain't no test. This is real life, nigga. You can only miss 1 on that Rico. 2, it's over with. Nail in the coffin. Ain't that what y'all saying? We ain't putting nail in the coffin over here. Over here, if he misses 2 on this test, guys, it ain't no nail in the coffin. Start putting the dirt on the coffin. It ain't a nail in the coffin no more. It's time to start putting the dirt on the coffin. If he can only miss 1 answer on this. I don't know about y'all, but I ain't a perfect nigga. I ain't no 100%. You feel me? I ain't no 100%. Shit. You know, I might get on here and jokey joke. I graduated with a 4.0. Shit, I wasn't getting 100s. I was just getting high 90s. Just put your mind to it a little bit. Put all the bullshit to the side, but this ain't no test because it ain't no studying on how to beat this. They gonna get your ass. And right now we just looking at him. He talking about, Judge, can I get some books to read while I'm waiting on the verdict? What you about to read, nigga? What you about to read that, nigga? You about to have a lot of time to be reading books. You don't want to burn yourself out reading books right now, dude. You're only gonna get maybe 3-4 pages done. You in that cell sweating right now. You nervous as hell. Talking about, can I get some books? Yeah, you can get some books, all right, some law books, nigga, because it's gonna be a long road. It's gonna be a long road, but you might be able to beat it. But you already know how I feel. I like the clown, so if this dream team don't beat this case, if he's found guilty, I don't want to hear none of that. He beat the. I don't want to hear none of that. If he's found guilty and gets anything over 5 years, this ain't no dream team. I don't want to hear nothing else about them being a dream team. But if Diddy beats this, I told y'all they was a dream team. What I tell y'all when we first got, I said, but that's a damn dream team right there. They put that dream. Ooh, they put together a crazy ass dream team. But we gonna see, man. We are gonna see. I will say this in all seriousness. Better him than me. Better him than me. You know, people say, oh, man, you ain't supposed to wish jail on nobody. I ain't wishing jail on nobody. I'm hoping that my tax dollars that we were talking about wasting go to a good cause. I hope if we spending our money, we get something out of this. You know what I mean? Using my tax dollars, you better find somebody guilty in this motherfucker. Damn, Diddy. Don't worry if he writes rhymes, though. He writes checks. That's what they say. If Diddy gets off, does he have a freak off this weekend? I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't be against him having one. I mean, as long as this time there's no drugs involved, no money involved, yeah, have your freak off. And then, well, it wouldn't even be a freak off. Then it'd just be a freak offs won't. If he beats this, then freak offs aren't a bad terminology anymore. But yeah, if he beats this, he's within his rights to have a freak off this weekend if he wanted to. Just don't pay nobody. Everyone got to come over there and be with it. You know what I mean? You learn from your mistakes. But I bet I tell you one thing. And it wouldn't even wait till this weekend. I think y'all know where I'm going with this. Jane Doe. Man, that rent would have been done to stop being paid, nigga. As soon as I heard first of all, she wouldn't even been getting no $10,000 a month from me for nothing anyway. But as soon as I heard she was taking a stand, oh, fuck that rent. Cut that shit off. And get them on the streets. Get them about the house. As soon as I would have heard she was taking it, who's taking the stand? Jane Doe. Wait. They got another one? You mean the one that I'm paying the $10,000 for? She testifying what? This trial? The Diddy trial? The Puff Daddy trial? Sean Combs. Wait a minute, huh? You got a phone? Pull up this Instagram. You talking about this person right here? They testifying? That's the place I'm paying the $10,000 for, right? It's her. You sure it's her? This is who Jane Doe. This is who testifying? Oh yeah, turn that motherfucking rent off. Hey, tell landlord get the eviction shit together. I'm done. I'm not paying that no more. You know what I mean? As soon as I heard she testifying, I'm like, who testifying against who? Talking about a love contract, man. Fuck that contract. I'm gonna love to get your ass up out of there. I'm gonna love to get this 10,000 back. I'm gonna love to watch you leave. You know what I mean? It ain't no love contract. Love contract my ass. Yeah, they got a love contract. He said 2 years, which should have been March of this year. But yeah, they had a verbal agreement, and I think he put in. I think this stupid fool put in the text message too, talking about paying the rent. Send us your questions about the Diddy trial. High-profile criminal trial against Diddy is unfolding in federal court. Diddy faces racketeering acts and prostitution. He has denied all charges, but if found guilty, he could spend the rest of his life in prison. Share my story. Dear CNN. Dear CNN. My name is Mo. Yeah, that's capital M, capital O, little E. I'm from the Show Me state. And I currently reside on the country side of Germany. Or should I put Deutschland? I should put Deutschland on here and see if they're into the culture. On the countryside of Germany. We've covered the trial intensely for over 180 hours. We'd like if you let us come on here during the verdict and just broadcast and just give the world a different perspective. We'd like to broadcast and give our perspective from Mona Moets on the Diddy trial. I mean, we've been through the ups, the downs, the thicks, the thins. From finding out about baby fathers paying $4,700 a month to Diddy liking Tootsie Rolls and looking at men's endowment. Oh, so if you want to bring us on the show, let us know. Oh boy. Let me see. Verdict watch, what they got over here.
Say no. Yeah, not a lot of people. Okay. There was a sex worker, checks off a number of the requirements of sex trafficking. Another example, she's sitting next to him on a plane. He purportedly shows her these sex tapes, threatens to release them. So you have a travel component, you have a threat component. They land. He demands a freak off. He gets a freak off. Those are two concrete examples. With Jane, there's an example, aside from the allegations that she was forced to do this when she was sick or exhausted. There was a violent episode she talked about, June 2024, beaten. He says, take this bleeping pill. You better go back out there. All the text messages from Jane where she is expressing reluctance to not engage in these hotel nights, particularly after Cassie filed her lawsuit. The jury, do you think the jury is going to weed out and say, you know what, I think there was a lot that they consented to, but it doesn't mean they consented to everything. And maybe even though Mark Agnifilo says, oh my gosh, you're going to make the jump from consensual to to sex trafficking, maybe they will make that jump. What do you think?
Just like someone can say, can make the jump that, a woman consented in the beginning of sexual intercourse, and then at some point she negated the consent, and whether it was rape or not. So the fact that you can withdraw your consent, and especially the video, the violent attack, at the end of the day, if you believe that P. Diddy did the things that the government is accusing him of, the multiple day interrogation, the firebombing the car, he's acting like a criminal. And even though this RICO may be WICO, it doesn't mean that even if I have a problem with the law, it doesn't mean that they've satisfied the elements of the law and that he may be guilty of sex trafficking and of RICO.
Did you just say WICO? Because if you did,
yeah.
Do we not coin that somewhere?
RICO,
we got a trademark attorney on
RICO maybe WICO.
You know
what? Still stick.
You know what, Mauricio? You know what, Mauricio? We got this comment from Maylink P1. Mauricio brings the heat. Is Mauricio from Miami?
Yes, from Miami.
See, people know.
Born and raised.
There you go. There you go. All right, Brian. This is a great question from Nest Dog, who's been a frequent contributor with questions during our live streams. Actually, a lot of our viewers have been as well. And let me couple that with another question from Smarty Pants 1225. Thank you so much for the super chat question, Smarty Pants 1225. So I'm going to throw two questions to you. They're very similar. Smarty Pants 1225 asks, is it likely RICO and the Mann Act will get revised after this case. You had mentioned it before about what these statutes were traditionally designed for, Brian. Brian, I'm going to throw this one to you. This is what they were originally designed for. Let's start there. And then the next question I have is about racketeering. So let me put Nest Dog's question to the side for a second. Brian, let's stick with this. Smarty Pants 1225. Is it likely RICO and the Mann Act will get revised after this case?
No, I doubt it.
I don't think so. I mean, revising a statute involves, cooperation within our government to change the statute.
They can't even put together a bill.
Every single challenge to the constitutionality of the RICO statute has been struck down by the Supreme Court. I'm not aware of any opinions that are up there that would challenge it. If there's a conviction here, they could challenge the use of the racketeering statute and take it all the way to the Supreme Court. But getting legislation like this, a federal statute changed isn't easy. And I don't think one case will do it. And I don't think this would be the case for them to do it.
Let me just go to one more question for you, Brian. This is from Nest Dog, and then we'll hit a break. I believe they got him on prostitution, drugs, and bribery. Isn't that technically RICO?
Yeah, but you got to prove the criminal enterprise, and you got to prove with unanimity those predicate acts. And so, yeah, I mean, I think you've both said it, and I don't disagree with you. If you looked at the definitions themselves and only focused on the definitions, they could check both those boxes and convict him of racketeering in a minute.
See, that's what I'm saying. Even the lawyers, if you're just looking at the definition, I'm like, yeah, man, that's easy right there. Ching, 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 ching. You get that RICO up and out of here. All you got to do is agree on 2. That's going to be tough. 7-0, man. You can only fuck up one time.
I just wonder, with all of the consent issues in the case, if they don't just take the easy way out, clip him, on the Mann Act violations, and call it a day. You've got to get a unanimous verdict, and you got to get all 12 people to agree on every predicate act and then on the racketeering enterprise as well. Not easy to do. Although I will tell you, in racketeering cases, they got about a 90% conviction rate across the country. So they do it.
This case could be an outlier. This case could be different. You said it before. So it's interesting to think about. I'll tell you what, we're going to hit a break. We are officially in verdict watch in the Sean Diddy Combs federal sex crimes case. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. We have a verdict watch clock that we're going to be putting up as well. We'll see how long the jurors are going to be deliberating for. Do you think they're going to come back today or not? We'll talk about it. We'll take more of your questions on the other side. Stay with us.
Damn, man. Yeah, and that's just off the RICOs. That's off the RICO. 90%. It's gonna be a long day, man. What book y'all thinking Diddy's reading? Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Harry Potter? Diddy look like a Harry Potter type of individual.
Diddy stands accused, charged with 5 felony counts.
Yeah, what y'all thinking? Diddy reading like Dr. Seuss? What up, QA? I'm trying to think, what the hell would I go back there and be reading? If I was back there, I'd be reading the Wall Street Journal. Oh no, this definitely isn't the time to be reading the Bible. Nah, this is not a good time to be reading the Bible, man. Could you come across a passage like this? It says the Bible emphasizes the importance of confessing sins, both to God and in some context to others. While it doesn't explicitly say confess your crimes, it does say the principle of acknowledging wrongdoing and seeking forgiveness is present in various scriptures. Specific verses like Proverbs 28:13 highlight that, and concealing sin leads to a lack of prosperity, while confusing and forsaking in the Lord's to lead the mercy. Additionally, in James 5:16 encourages confessing sins to one another and praying for healing. Diddy to go up in front of the courtroom. You need to get down on both knees and tell us the truth of what happened. You need to confess your wrongdoings to others. Reach out and touch. Well, nah, you don't touch nobody hand, you nasty piece of shit. Somebody's hand. Yeah, this is the wrong time for Diddy to be reading the Bible. He should have been reading the Bible before he was fucking up. You can't read the Bible after. You can't read the Bible after. Now the Lord has to give you a thing that he calls punishment. Now, it's not a punishment from him. It's a punishment amongst your peers. That's why when you commit a sin, you're supposed to go confess that, do 44 Hail Marys and get that thing up out of you. He died on the cross for your sins. He didn't die for you to lie. Go on out there, Diddy. Be a man. Put that Bible down. Close it up. Put the bookmark in there. You got more than enough time. You're going to go back there. Well, they saying you're going to go back there. I don't know if you're innocent or guilty. But if you do go back there, you got more than enough. Matter of fact, you could just rewrite the Bible in your own writing. You know what I mean? You take it, you just interpret it and write it your own way. That'd be something good. You could definitely sell that. People will buy it. The book that Sean wrote. Yes, your interpretation of the Bible. You know what I mean? People might buy that. We don't know. But you need to get your ass on out there and confess to your sins, man. They say only God can judge me. And those 12 mofos in that damn jury, the jury section, they judging you. They all been looking at you for 7 weeks. This is exactly why they tell you you can't mix state with court. I mean, church with state. You can't mix. No. It's like mismatched socks. They don't go together. Got to separate them. State from church. Don't bring that Bible in here. The only time the Bible is going to be present in here when we putting our hand on there and swearing to the good Lord. Other than that, no. Jesus took the wheel and drove you to the courthouse. It's on you to come up out of here. You going against the devil, or maybe you the devil. Put that thing away. Go ahead and close that. What Kendrick Lamar say? Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watches. Take your charges and hide the Bible if God watches. You need to tuck that. Going out there like a man. See what they presenting you, man. And if they tell you life or some shit like that, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Anthony threw a chair at the judge and he took his life sentence like a G. So what you gonna do if they say guilty on 3 charges, 5 charges, 2 charges, 1 charge? What you gonna do, Diddy? You gonna act a fool in there? Cause you ain't acting tough. I thought Diddy was, I ain't gonna lie to you, I thought Diddy was tough, but last week we heard him, thank you, Judge. You've been doing an excellent job. Like, oh man, I thought, man, if I'm up there, I'm telling the judge, man, fuck this court, man. I don't give a fuck about court. Get out my face. But we're gonna see, man. Diddy's fate lies in the hand of 12 everyday check to check workers. Not saying all of them are check to check, but the majority of them probably are, because this is America. They don't live that life Diddy lived. To Diddy, that shit seems normal and regular, but to regular folk, they looking at like, nigga, I don't live like that. That's some wild shit. That ain't it. But then some people say, well, that's that rock star lifestyle. So it's all kinds of things. One guy could feel this way. One guy, well, I don't agree with that. And that could throw everything. They could be back here for days, months, years. Yeah. Take your sentence and hide the Bible if God watching. You gonna curse. I'll tell you one thing. Prison is the devil's playground. The prison, that's where the devil's children like to hang out. That's where they like to congregate. They feel safe in there. Not me, though. I don't like staying in jail. No. All right, the juries are now deliberating in Diddy's criminal trial. Early this morning, the jurors heard instructions from the judge before they were sent to begin deliberation. In closing arguments Friday, defense attorney Mark Nifilo said the prosecution exaggerated his case against Diddy, showing evidence of swingers lifestyle and personal drug use and personal drug problems, but not a criminal enterprise. In its rebuttal, the prosecution accused the music mogul's lawyers of making excuses for him and blaming his victims. Prosecutors urged jurors to show Diddy he is not above the law. Diddy pled not guilty to federal charges that included racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. If convicted on all counts, he could and will potentially face up to life in prison. Damn, well.
All right, welcome back to our extended coverage of the
deliberations, and it sounds like the jurors have a question. So we don't know exactly everything yet. I'm sure that will be coming momentarily, but here's what we do know. It was a note written on a lined sheet of paper. About 1/3 of the piece of paper was taken up with this writing, whatever the question is. So first is handed over to assess it.
Oh man, this took us all the way back to the beginning. We're not about to rewatch this when they give us a new update. Your daughter's going into the Navy in August. Can you give me your opinion? Congratulations. How does it feel to be an All-American? Your daughter is doing something that less than 1% of Americans are brave enough to go out and do. Tell her to take it one day at a time and don't get overwhelmed. Get an education out of it. Learn as much as she can. Try to promote fast. If she's enlisted, tell her to try to get her degree and then try to switch over and get commissioned to be an officer. That's where the real money is. You get treated totally different. You get treated like a human being. But yeah, tell her to stick with it. I know a lot of people, oh man, the military, but yeah, man, you can really set yourself up financially, Shit, 20 years go by faster than you know how it is. 20 years go by quick because she got to be at least 18 to be joining. So 20 years go by quick. She get you a whole education out of it. You get all the way up to your doctorate for free, no debt. I don't know too much about the Navy. I mean, I have two cousins. One of them was a SEAL who turned out to be the film producer, and then my other cousin Michael, he's like a GS-14. But yeah, man, don't mess around. Don't do no underage because the rules are different. Like underage drinking, that'll get you kicked out. You're done for. Like it's a lot of rules depending on the country you go to. Don't wild out, enjoy and have fun. Definitely when you port, like if she's on a ship. Like I said, I don't know how that works, a ship or submarine, or you might be landside, but travel as much as you can, especially when they send you TDY or if you're going into the ports. Yeah, I mean, it's just different, but the way of living is better than like the Marines and the Army. So that I think it goes like Air Force and then the Navy and then the Army and then the Marines. But yeah, definitely make the most of it. Go to school for free and try to promote fast. Because a lot of benefits. You ain't got to pay for housing, so you can stack up a lot of money. You can use your VA home loan, no money down. If you are stationed somewhere, get you a house, you start doing that. And if you leave, you can rent that out to other military members, and they got to pay you because you can contact the base. They ain't paying, and then they'll garnish their wages. So it's a win-win. Just enjoy it, though, man. Don't let it get to you. That's really the main thing. They're going to try to break you. I don't know how basic training is over there, but they'll try to break you and stuff, and just be aware of everything. But it's definitely a good look, especially if you don't really like have a plan coming out of school. Jury sent a note at 12:50.
Specifically,
then they already said he's guilty.
Mark Agnifilo, lead attorney for the defense.
All right, jury sends a note in Diddy's trial. There's a note from the jury. Lawyers are returning to the courtroom and prosecutors are entering also. The note was first handed to the prosecution, then to the defense attorney. Diddy is back in the courtroom, reading the note, nervous as hell, sweating, which feels about 1/3 of a line shaped of a paper. The court is now waiting for the judge. We The people of the jury find the defendant, Sean P. Diddy Combs, not guilty on all 5 charges. Nah, I think they probably just about to get the rules listed. If this is the verdict, I think they would announce we got a verdict by now. If they got this in an hour, dog, it's either, see, that's the thing. It's either, if they got it in an hour, it's like, nigga, we all agree this nigga guilty, or we all agree this nigga in it. That's some quick shit. But if they writing this much, I doubt it's a verdict. They really, hey, if they really go home that bad, it only took an hour. That's some crazy
Diddy's
shit.
fate is now in the hands of the jury. This Manhattan courthouse has pulled back the curtain on the private life of one of hip-hop's biggest icons. The mogul and producer has admitted to beating his partners, having a drug problem, and enjoying freak-offs or prolonged sexual encounters between his girlfriends and male prostitutes. He says the sex was consensual. So, is Diddy guilty of sex trafficking and running a criminal enterprise? The jury will need to weigh the evidence to decide if he's just a flawed individual being unfairly targeted by overzealous prosecutors and women after money, or if he's someone who used his vast wealth, power, and influence to manipulate, trap, and force women to fulfill his sexual desires. There's video and photo evidence, text messages, hotel and financial records, even flight logs. But ultimately, this case hinges on who the jury believes. Cassie, Ventura, and Jane spoke in harrowing detail about the physical toll the freak-offs and drugs took on their bodies. How Diddy controlled every aspect of their life, and his threats, including blackmail. Diddy didn't testify, and jurors can't hold that against him because the government has the burden of proof. But his lawyers said the women were free to leave at any time, and when they did, nothing happened. The defense claimed the women were just as enthusiastic about the swinger lifestyle. So was there a power imbalance? Was every freak-off consensual? Or did they turn into sex trafficking when the women told Diddy they didn't want to do it anymore? Those are all important questions in this case.
They had that dun, 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 dun. They got live reporting 1838. So that's the last thing we got. Let me see. Man, you can find those on your local corner store. Last Train to Paris. Yeah, I think this is just a note, man. This can't be no damn. This ain't no verdict. Somebody would already put. They got a verdict. God damn it, they got a verdict. $15 people. The Eastern District of New York. 15 people, including Russia, charged with fraudulently billing $10.6 billion to U.S. Medicare program and private health insurance companies. Damn, so that's where the money went. Everybody talking about Medicaid is a scam. These motherfucking Russians was over here doing that shit. 10 billion? You leave. All right. So we ain't really got nothing else. Yeah, man, ain't no verdict, man. We're gonna just have to come back. No, it's just anything that gets read to the courtroom has to be in front of everybody. But like I said, if they got a verdict in an hour and a half, that means shit. See, that's the thing. If he's found guilty, that just goes on the mystique of the federal government. It's like, dog, them motherfuckers ain't playing around. You know, people always gonna look back. Man, you see how fast they whooped Diddy's ass? It took 7 weeks, but took the jurors less than 2 hours to get a verdict. Like, that's some crazy shit. OJ was 4 hours, but I'm not sitting on here for no damn 4 hours. If there's a da-na-na, we got an ESPN update. The verdict has been in. Then I'll get back on here and do a live. But I'm not about to just sit here for 4 hours wasting time with this nigga Diddy in the back room reading green eggs and ham. No, I'm not, man. Fuck Diddy. And his trial. Shit. This just in. Diddy just got football numbers. What do you mean football numbers? 4 to 7 years. God damn it, not Diddy. Happy birthday, Miss Renee. Happy birthday, Miss Renee. Happy birthday, Miss Renee. Happy birthday to you. We're always going to remember Miss Renee's birthday for the Diddy verdict. It's unfortunate, but your day is a day in Black culture, Black history. Miss Renee's birthday and Diddy's verdict day. Renee's birthday, Diddy birthday. No, not Diddy's birthday. Diddy verdict day. Verdict day, birthday. Oh, man. Them things coincide. Oh, that's why I said I'm about to get off of here. Like I said, if there's a we got an update, we got a verdict, then I'll get back on here. But it's 7 o'clock. I mean, I need to go put a load of clothes in there. I need to start washing. I got to get my shit together for this weekend. You know, I ain't bullshit on my weekend.
He takes a look and then Judge Aru
put on a case. They did a thorough job cross-examining the state's key witnesses and presenting problematic text messages and social media posts. They didn't have to put on a case. But where do you think? You think the jury's going to use it against them?
Well, listen, the juries can always use that against you. You know, they're not supposed to, but like there's certain cases, like, you know, cases that involve children, or, you know, a jury's going to want to hear you say, I didn't touch that kid. And that's something that I've had to deal with in my own career. So there are situations where a jury is going to expect you to take the stand. A jury's, regardless of what the law says, jurors are people at the end of the day, and they make decisions based on their gut and, you know, on their hearts. So a lot of times they want to hear it. Now, whether it was a mistake, I mean, P. Diddy's defense team is as good as it gets. Mark and the people that he's got around them, they're as good as it gets. And I have a feeling that if they didn't put up a case, it's because they couldn't put up a case that was going to be, you know, criticized immediately by everybody, including the press, as being extremely thin. So if you don't have witnesses, if you don't have a defense that's really worth it, do you want to go up there and, you know, put up a defense that's, you know, hyphenated at best, and then have people criticize that? Because then, you know, when you don't put up a defense, you could, you know, point to the prosecution and say, I don't have anything to do here. I don't really have a role except to defend my client. The prosecution was the one that was supposed to prove their case, and they failed to do so. So, you know, I don't think that it may have been a mistake. Only they would know, because we don't know who they have, who the defense has talked to, what witnesses they have. So we really don't know.
Let me bring back in Sierra Gillespie as we're waiting for this juror note, more explanation about what this juror note is. Sierra, you can let us know if you found out any further information about it. But more importantly, I want to ask you, you're outside the courthouse right now. There was quite a scene during the course of this trial, during opening statements.
Well, they ain't had nobody rioting out there.
Kanye showed up at one point during the course of this trial. We all remember when Kid Cudi had.
Damn, Kid Cudi was in here. Everybody was in here. Everybody with us. Yeah, man, I'm about to get out of here and try to be productive for the day. But definitely stay near your phones. If there is a verdict, it's going to take probably about like 10, 15 minutes for them to get set up. So I should be able to just jump back on here and do a live. He ain't got another vlog for the day or anything? Or he might still be in the courtroom just chilling till this note is done. All right, hold on. Diddy's back in the courtroom. His lawyers are huddled behind him in discussion. The jury has begun. There has been a jury note. So, okay, let's see what the update is. We got our dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. We got our ESPN highlight. All right, guys. The fate of y'all uncle lies in the hand of 12 random people from Brooklyn. I wonder if he gonna read it out loud. Yeah, they're not gonna let this. They're not gonna let this case just go. They'll definitely retrial it, lock him up, make him spend some more money, double whatever he got, and put him at like they said it was a $10 million team, hit him for like 20, but they'll probably give him a good discount, 17.5. That ain't that bad. 17.5 M for your life. Shit, 17.5 M for your life. Yeah, that's worth it. That's definitely worth it. Oh, now y'all don't know Diddy. But when the trial started, everyone like, man, that's my uncle, Mo. You wouldn't even believe it. That's my nephew, Mo. That's my cousin. I'm like, damn, how y'all know Diddy? Everybody was hanging out with Diddy. Now we at the deliberation, the end of the day, and everybody talking about they don't know Diddy. That's messed up how they change on you, Puff. That's messed up how they change on you, Puff. I always told him when I came in here, I said, hey, Puff, I can't say if you innocent or guilty. Everybody else is saying guilty. I was like, man, I can't say if that ain't my job. The federal government ain't paying me to decide if you're innocent or guilty. YouTube is paying me to talk about it, but you know what I'm saying? Shout out to YouTube. Shout out to you all. You know what I mean? 32 days. We could potentially be over with today, man. I got to finish up Squid Games. I ain't recorded episode 1 or 2. It was a little slow to me, man. Does it pick up between episode 3 and 6? Squid Games was a little slow for me. I was a little suspect. It took me it took like 6 hours to watch 2 episodes last night. I was like, I just ain't feeling this. I ain't even watched damn BMF either. Because the first 2 episodes, I was very disappointed. Very. So I'm going to try to watch 3 and 4 after I get off of here. But definitely stay tuned to your phones. Like I said, I don't have Discord on this phone. My other phone should be here. Shit, well, probably 4th of July. I'm going to be gone. So I probably won't get that till next week. So the only time I get on Discord is when I'm on the computer. So if y'all been messaging me on there, I haven't responded because I don't have Discord on this phone. All right, well, I'm going to watch episode 3 when I get off of here. I'm going to give me something to eat, some sop. Again, I got shit. I was supposed to Wednesday will be at the Kendrick Lamar concert. Thursday will be in Switzerland. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be in Switzerland. Y'all know Rima? You know the artist Rima? Yeah, he's supposed to be performing in Switzerland. So yeah, man, I gotta find some stuff to go look at in Switzerland. I've only been once, but it was just at the airport. But I'm actually being in Zurich this weekend, so I gotta see what the hell they got going on out there. Where am I from? I'm from Kansas City by way of, it depends on what you want to do, by way of Georgia, Arizona, California. Yeah. I live in Germany right now. So I'm up and out the way, just living life, you know. I had an amazing weekend. Very amazing. I met, and I never seen this before either. I met this Cuban and German. Her mama's German, she's Cuban. Mm, beautiful. But she said she had a boyfriend though. So but it's all good though. Yeah, like I mean, she's hey, real cool, real cool. You know, he's at believe it or not, y'all, I was on some chill shit. I ended up on the water. I went out to Frankfurt. Went out to Frankfurt, ended up out on the water. I was like, damn, they got this shit out here. I ain't know Frankfurt was moving like that. But they got the little boats on the like on the river. She went out there, kicking with her and her sister, you know what I'm saying? It's cool little evening, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, you should hang out longer. I'm like, I gotta drive home. The hell what y'all talking about? It's getting dark outside. It's probably like 11 o'clock. Like, yeah, I'm not staying out here. Let me get a hotel room. Brought my ass back home. Germany good. Germany's cool. Right now we got this little heat wave. So it's been pretty damn hot. I got all the fans on, all the windows open in the crib. I'm trying to see what this note is before I get out of here. Did I get the number? Nah, man. Nah, man. I told you I'm respectful, man. If it was younger me, I've been applying that pressure. Nah, she had a boyfriend. So it's crazy how it worked out. I seen her earlier. You know, I played Shy Brother with myself. You know what I mean? Went over there. We were talking. She told me she had a boyfriend, but by the end of the night, my homeboy ended up talking to her sister, and that just the connection just boom hit back off, boom, pow, pow. You know me, I ain't freezing up under pressure. So while you talking to sister, they joking around. I come back over. She's like, "Oh my gosh, it's crazy how the night is." I was telling my sister that isn't the guy I told I had a boyfriend earlier, is it? She's like, "I think it is." And then we all went out to this little boat shit from like fucking 9 to like 11 or something. I'm like, well. You said you got a nigga, so no more drinks. No more drinks. I'm pay for it. What time is it? I'm looking at my watch. Yeah, oh, I gotta reset this motherfucker. I'm gonna head on out of here. Y'all figure that bill shit out. Nah, she's fucking with your boy. But it's all right. It's all right. If my homeboy continue to talk to the sister, you know, she'll eventually be like, oh, whatever happened to Mo? I had to cover the Diddy trial. All right, man. So they ain't telling us what this damn note is. That's what we looking for, the damn note. Yeah, wow. Nah, you can survive. See, you gotta tap. You gotta tap into your inner Negro. Hey, Eric, check your Instagram. The note said how long we gotta be back there. Hey, yo, Judge, what do we already got the answer? You know what I mean? What do we already got the answer? Judge, like, man, just give it an hour. Yeah, ain't no one giving us a. It might, I don't know, because they got the laptop, so They ain't giving us no information on what the note could have said. Oh shit, let me see. Yeah, man, that's about it. What we had 2.5 hours. Yeesh. Yeah, we had 2.5 hours, man. I'm gonna be back if there is a verdict or something important. Like, damn, they need me to come in there and be the deciding vote. Then yeah, I'll definitely give us an update. But I'm not about to sit here and just wait on this, man, because I could be doing, man. I love y'all. If anything happens, we're gonna be back. I'm about to go watch this Squid Games, and I'm probably gonna do a live for episode. See, we on Verdict Watch. I really can't do nothing, but I might do a live for episode 3, or is it 4? Episode 4 and 5 on BMF after I watch this episode 2. But if anything happens, I'll let y'all know. I will let y'all know. We will be back. Whether Diddy's innocent or guilty, we don't care. We're here for what CNN calls it, pure entertainment. Yes, we're laughing at someone else's downfall. Diddy used to laugh at us and tell us, don't worry if he writes rhyme, he writes check. He told us we got the same 24. So he said he was better than us in his 24 hours. So just because you harped on us, we can clown on you too, nigga. So Diddy, don't be don't be afraid of what the judge has to offer you. We've all been in front of a judge before. It is a scary sight, but man, you bad boy for life. Remember, you told us.
Parties are the hottest ticket around.
They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. You gonna hear about my parties. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things. Just
They say don't put that out in the atmosphere. Don't put that in the environment. Don't let the universe absorb your powers, Diddy. But you told us they was gonna be arresting you for your parties, and well, here we are. You can't be mad at us because all we're doing is going off of what you told us. You told us that this was gonna happen. So it ain't making fun of you, it's us laughing with you, you know? You knew it was gonna happen. So we laughing with you. You know, if they get you when you get in there, make the best of your time, man. But if you beat the case, change your life around, man. The world is yours, Diddy. It depends on how you're gonna adjust to it. You gonna keep living like like a degenerate, or you gonna get your shit on the right path? Well, this is what you said. You said it, not us.
about my parties, they're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time. Whenever you bring up a different party, they're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things. They're gonna probably be arresting me, and they're gonna probably be arresting me, and they're gonna probably be arresting me, they're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time. Whenever you bring up a different element into people's environment, things that broaden people's horizon, people get intimidated.
You got the wrong I word. You got the wrong I word. Not intimidated, incriminated, nigga. Not intimidated. It's another word that starts with an I and ends with a D. Incriminated. You got the wrong I word. They not intimidated by it. They're going to incriminate you. They're going to indict you. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of words that start with the I that they're going to use against you. Anytime you're trying to introduce a new element, if it don't fall within the element structure that they already have in place, that bond ain't gonna work. You see that bond ain't gonna work. There's too many electrons and not enough protons. That's a negative right there. That ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work, Diddy. The molecular bond ain't on. It ain't working. You trying to introduce too many elements. You see, that's how you get a nuclear reaction and shit blows up. You mixing in these two different elements, and when they boom, they fuse. It boom. That's what that boom is with a nuke. So you introducing too many elements. This element don't belong with this element, and that's where we're at right here. Those two elements, they don't. The bond ain't there. You know, the electrons, they ain't, the atoms, they ain't connected. You know, they ain't making that bond. You know what I'm saying? It's like two negatives on a magnet. They pushing each other. They ain't supposed to be together. You can't introduce this element with this element. See, we live in the legal element. Sometimes you do illegal stuff, but you can't bring in a whole illegal element and put that in with the legal element. See, when you do that, then it's like the red blood cells and the white blood cells. Whenever they see a virus, they start attacking it. So the legal element is going to start attacking it. The illegal element is going to eventually go like this into a ball, and it's going to disappear. It's going to be consumed and wiped away. And that's what they're trying to do right now, because that element you brought in was a dirty element. You got to have a clean element. You know what I mean? You got to have a clean element. The protons and electrons got to add up. When you got that negative charge, that's when shit gets a little spunky. We learned that in like 4th grade. You know what I'm saying? Gets a little spunky. Things get out of sync, out of orbit, should I say. You see what I'm saying? See, the shit that they teach us, when you start applying it to bullshit, you talking about introducing an element. We know that you can't just mix elements. You got one element, you need to stick to that element. You know, don't go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. I know that you're gonna have it your way or nothing at all, but I think you're moving too fast. A lonely mother gazing out of her window, looking at a son that she just can't touch. Did he play with baby oil? Got some in his eye, and now he's about to do life. Do life. Don't go. See, you trying to do too much, Diddy. That ain't who you are. You didn't go to Howard for science. You didn't go to Harvard. I mean, not Harvard, Howard for a law degree, a business degree. You was like communication. You was a dancing nigga. You should have been paying attention in class, my brother. Took some pre-law class, some prerequisites or something. But instead, you wanted to be dancing all in the video, all in the background. Now you didn't dance your ass all the way up to the courtroom. It took 55 years to get you, but you didn't wobble your way up there. And now you got to meet the piper. And pray for the best, man. Good luck to you. I'm not here to say if you are innocent or guilty. I'm here to clown around, just like you would be clowning on us. Shit, man. It is what it is, man. Good luck to you and your team. God bless your family. It sucks that they got to suffer from your sins. Even if you beat the case, it's still people going to look at you differently. Your family going to still love you, but how do you go home and talk to your daughters about, man, yeah, you know, I was tripping in that tape and all the shit you heard. Yeah, I beat the case, but they just, you know what I mean? It's still rough, but I mean, better you than me. I just know this, though, Diddy. You better hope they get this done, because we go, hey, 4th of July, one thing about us, one thing about America, no matter what side you on, no matter how you feel about the red, the white, and the blue on that flag, everybody celebrate 4th of July. Everybody celebrate 4th of July. It don't matter how you feel. One thing we all gonna do is put our differences aside. That's one time people do their own thing on Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, whatever other holidays they got, Memorial, 4th of July, Diddy. We all about to be celebrating. This is the middle of summer for us. It's about to get cracking for us. It don't matter. Everybody got a grill on. White, black, Hispanic, everybody. We don't give a fuck who you are. That's one day where ICE ain't gonna be looking for nobody because everybody at home on the grill. We about to be kicking and chilling. Diddy, hopefully they can get this verdict done because we don't want our counterparts in New York wasting their 4th of July in here on your bullshit, your shenanigans. Because 4th of July, everybody's celebrating. You know what I mean? It don't matter how you feel. You gonna go get some, y'all gonna get some drink. And it's 4th of July on a Friday, so you got to stay safe this year because niggas are gonna be pop, 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 pop. I already know how that get. But like there ain't no 4th of July over here, so it's just a regular weekend. Unless you're around the base, they're gonna have the fireworks and shit. But I ain't gonna be here. I don't do no. Well, last 4th of July I did was like 2018 on base, but it's because 4th of July was a win. But yeah, man, 4th of July, man, ain't nobody trying to be worried about no Diddy. We all about to put something on the grill, pull up to barbecues. You know what I'm saying? We about to be kicking it. We ain't about to be worried about no Diddy case. 4th of July, and then on Saturday, we go back to living our regular lives. But for Friday, we put everything down. We put all our differences down. You may have got into it with the white folk down the street, but they cool as hell today. You see them riding by, it's the 4th of July. Wave out. All right now. Everything good. Y'all go back to hating each other on Saturday. But 4th of July, it don't matter who you are, where you from. You in the United States of America, you go celebrate that motherfucker July 4th, 1776. The day our Lord said America should be free. No taxation without representation. That's all that was. We wanted our own thing. We don't want no king. We don't want no queen. Over here, we want a president, an elected president. Now, it's all kinds of off the haywire right now, but shit, 4th of July, man. We put our differences aside. The good old 4th. Even on base, you go up here, they're going to have the little fireworks at the main hangar, shooting them off. You ain't got nothing to do, go on base, but don't drink on base because they're going to give your ass a DUI. You ain't going to be able to drive on base for a year, and that's going to suck. Because, you know, you got on-base rules, you got your own-base law, and you got your off-base law. You know what I mean? Most of the time, the Germans, they'll get you with the speeding tickets, the parking tickets, mainly the speeding tickets, and they send that shit to the base. But then on base, if you get a speeding ticket on base, you get too many points. You can't drive on base, but you can still drive on the economy. You know what I mean? So you got 2 laws you got to follow. But yeah, 4th of July, man. Put all your differences aside, man. Enjoy. Y'all definitely be safe this weekend. We don't want nothing happening to anybody, you know. Y'all got me acting like I'm giving a safety briefing. No drinking and driving, obviously. You know what I mean? 1 drink per hour. No more than 3 within one sitting. A water in between drinks. Be on the lookout for other people. We all responsible adults. We don't drink and drive here. Diddy, you ain't got to worry about it. You're gonna be figuring your shit out. You ain't got to worry about driving nowhere. But yeah, don't drink and drive. And you really got to look out for the other drivers. That's really where all the danger comes from. Usually the drunk driver is the one that survives. And the other ones don't. So you got to look out for them.
There's a lot of people out there that feel intimidated.
Where was I born? I was born in Kansas City, Missouri. Jury note says they're concerned one juror can't follow the instructions. Jury reads, juror number 525, who we are concerned cannot follow your honor's instructions. The floor person also asked to speak with the judge or that juror to be interviewed. All right. So, nigga, you got to go off the law. He's back there. No, man, dude, he ain't guilty, man. He ain't do it. He ain't do it. All right. So this is where we're going to get these arguments between them. Or this person could be back there. No, he's guilty, man. The hell with the rules, man. He's guilty, man, on all charges. But if they can't follow the instruction, that means they're doing something negative. See, man, these updates are too far. They should have said something. They should have said something about juror number 25 weeks ago. You knew when you looking around, when you've been around somebody that long, you start to notice, especially when you already going. I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover. Fuck that. If the book looks stupid, I'm not reading it. But yeah, by week 2, when you first come in there and you looking around like the other jurors, the other 11, man, this motherfucker juror 25, that motherfucker weird as hell. You already know who's weird. You should have knew that day 1. You know, when you start a new job or something, you go around, you looking. Like when people start new jobs around me, I don't really talk to them much. I want to see who they are before I let them know who I am, because fuck that. I automatically think you undercover anyway. I think you were sent here by HR. You some some secret shopper type shit. So I just don't talk to nobody when they new. Unless I'm telling them how to do something. 1:27 p.m. we received a note from the jury. We have a juror number 25, who believe cannot follow your instructions. I would like to meet with the court about it. The judge, I suggest I ask for more information. May we have a moment to digest what your honor has proposed? This is very sensitive. Mark said, I suggest we just tell him. It is early. You are just getting started. If there's a further issue, please let us know. So that's what I forgot who was saying. It's like, man, it's too early for y'all to be having issues like that. We'll try to work it out. So I like what Mark is doing there. Like, nah, try to work it out, because Mark knows that this could potentially play into their favor. Keep 25 on there. As long as 25 is like, nah, man, we're not going to do it. I don't think you're guilty. That's working for the defense. So that's why Mark was like, hey, whoa. It's still early, Your Honor. Let them work it out. They need to go back there and at least deliberate for 5 hours, at least. Comey, if we go that route, we suggest instructing the jurors it is important not to include any information about what is going on in the jury room. We are looking at U.S. versus Baker. It is important to not include any information about what is going on in the jury room. I wonder what they mean, though. Are they going into more detail of what actually happened? Because we ain't even got the whole case. Get started for free. Okay, the jury charge, the instructions the jury were given. Oh, it's probably further down. Yeah, I want to know what they're talking about. Suggest instructing the jurors that it is important to not include any information about what is going on in the jury room. All right, so I mean,
had to testify. What's happening?
I think stunning is a great word for it. It's not something that we've expected. I mean, you guys, you viewers can look at the clock that we have here. We're not even at 2 hours yet into deliberations, and already something so stark such as this. I do have another small update right now. The judge says to both sides, and he's telling them, confer on a response. I'll stay here. So kind of, you two discuss. Mauricio, I've got to ask you, what does this mean? What are your thoughts?
Early on, they're not even fighting about the decision. They're fighting about how they're gonna come up to the decision. So I think that when you read into the question, I think what the question's highlighting is a power play that's going on. So one person is not getting along with another person. Maybe the fourth person has a problem with another person, and now he's saying, you're not following the rules given to us by the court. But when I hear that question, for me, it highlights that there's personality issues at play, and that they're fighting. So let's see what happens. But shocking that it's happening so quickly. And imagine it's not. If it would foreshadow that this is going to be a long, drawn-out deliberation, that they've come up with that question only 2 hours in.
And I mean, the jury is so important, right? They're so paramount into all of this. And as you were talking, Mauricio, I was thinking the same thing. Like, if they're already arguing about all of this, we're looking at a long deliberation time, which, by the way, I am hosting live from the field, so I don't have a projection of like what we're seeing. So I do want to say that our note, I think I said we weren't quite at 2 hours yet. It looks like we're at 2 hours and 2 minutes, at least in the last minute, as far as the jury clock, or the deliberation clock, rather. It's being kind of funky, but that's that's kind of where we're at. So 2 hours, either way, pretty early. Now, I got to get to some of our viewer questions that we have for you guys, because a lot of you have provided us with some really stellar questions. So I'm going to start with this one for you, Brian. This is A Fly Guy says, a question for the panel. Is the jury in a federal trial exposed to the gallery where those people could see them, or are they somewhat secluded? And I believe I have a general answer to this. I haven't been inside the courtroom, but we do have our reporter, Elizabeth Milner, who's been in, talked to us about how the jurors are responding to things specifically like those freak off videos. You know, were they hiding their faces? What were they doing? So what is your answer to this, Brian? Can they see the gallery and kind of interact in a way?
Well, in every trial I've ever had, the jury can see the gallery. They can see the entire courtroom, and the entire courtroom can see them. I know that there are issues in this case where they have kind of blocked off things for one reason or another. But the simple answer is yes, they're supposed to be able to see the gallery. It is a public courtroom, and it should be open, and it should be, a situation where everybody can see everybody.
And I mean, that is the beauty of America. These are public courthouses. So if you are watching right now and you want to come see the Diddy trial, I mean, they are in deliberation, so they're a bit more secluded then, but you're allowed to just come down to this courthouse here in Southern Manhattan, walk in and go. I mean, that's really all you need. Now, for a case like P. Diddy, obviously, there's a bigger list. There's media credentials and things that go into it, but that's really what it is. And it's only kind of different in the federal system that we don't get cameras because it is federal. In some states, we can live stream the court. I mean, I know a lot of you long crime viewers have seen all of that. So it is interesting. Now, on to another question that we have from one of our viewers, Navy Mom FL, I'm guessing Florida, 7294. This one's going for you, Mauricio, because I know you have a history with Florida. So maybe this question doesn't have anything to do with Florida, but hey, I'm connecting you two. Now, she says, Law and Crime Network, what are the odds jury tampering occurred? And did Diddy somehow pay off a juror? Sounds like a movie, but movies are based on reality. I mean, anything's possible in this case, Mauricio. What do you think about jury tampering?
Jury tampering. Come
Well,
on.
listen, anything's possible, but I think it's a stretch to read that into the note that was just published from the jury. They're just saying that there's a juror that refuses to abide by the rules given to them by the court. It's a little bit of a stretch to now imply that P. Diddy bought a juror, but I mean, the way that he's conducted himself, not only historically but ever since his incarceration, it wouldn't be something that I don't think anybody would be shocked at. Because he seems to be such a controlling individual. He seems to be the type of guy that thinks that he can control anything, including a federal trial, including jurors. So I wouldn't be shocked if something like that comes out eventually, especially since I remember in this case they had him on the jail phone talking to people and trying to influence certain people. I know that he tried social media to try and influence, certain chunks of the population with his social media presence. So I wouldn't be shocked, but it is a stretch to read that into the note that was just published.
Now I do.
Yeah, so we were right about that. That's good for the defense. Very good for the defense, but we'll see where it goes. The judge said confer on a response. I'll stay here. The judge probably went back to his chambers. He's kicking it. Take that robe off, take his socks and shoes off, and kick up his feet. Yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We will be back if anything important pops off, but I assume that they're not going to be done today.
You're fucking delusional.
You know what I mean? I don't believe they're going to be done today. Probably tomorrow. They might get done at the end of the day. What is it? 7. So they got like an hour and a half. They stay until 5. So they got 3 hours, 3.5 hours. So it'll probably be tomorrow though. But if anything does happen, I will be back on and we'll cover it from there. This is day 33 of the Diddy trial, Daily Diddy. We got 3 hours in the day. We had 174. We got 174 hours in on the Diddy trial. So we'll definitely hit 175. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Anything important come back. We'll be back on and we'll talk about it. We'll discuss it and we'll move on with our lives. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, support the channel. Cash App pin in the chat. Support my other channel, The Mo You Know. We at 945 over there. I ain't good with math, but it looks like 55 more subscribers on The Mo You Know. Help reach that so we can get 1,000 subscribers over there. I will be putting shorter videos on there once we get done with this Diddy trial. We'll be back to doing recaps on this trial also and more entertainment. That's what we use this trial to cross over with. I appreciate you guys. It is week 8. It did take us 8 weeks to get here, and here we are. But I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And like I say, y'all be safe, man. I'm going to get the heck up out of here. Y'all hold it down. And remember, you can run, but you can't hide. I'm ODJ. This is The Mo You Know.
You can